It is 6 o'clock, Good Friday morning, live from the 104.5 The Zone Studios. I'm Justin Hawkins. The Tennessee Titans home opener versus the L.A. Rams is Sunday with kickoff at 12 p.m. at Nissan Stadium. The Lee Company countdown to kickoff starts at 9 a.m., and then Titans radio takes over at 11 a.m. with Titans countdown. Right tackle J.C. Latham told reporters yesterday after practice that he would not play against the Rams on Sunday as he deals with a hip injury. Quandre Diggs, Devondre Sweat, and Khalil Mullings also missed practice for the second day in a row. And L'Jarius Sneed, Kevin Winston Jr., and Arden Key were limited once again. Week 2 of the NFL season kicked off last night as the Green Bay Packers shut down the Washington Commanders 27-18. Packers tight end Tucker Kraft was the star of the night, hauling in 6 receptions for 124 yards and a touchdown. Jordan Love threw for 292 yards and 2 touchdowns. 2 injuries last night. Packers wide receiver Jaden Reed suffered a clavicle fracture and will head to injured reserve for an expected 6 to 8 weeks. Commanders running back Austin Eckler is believed to have suffered a season-ending torn Achilles injury, pending an MRI. Number 15 Tennessee Vols take on number 6 Georgia Bulldogs in Knoxville at Neyland Stadium with kickoff set for 2:30 p.m. Central. You can hear Mike Keith and Ramon Foster on the call right here at 104.5. The Zone coverage begins at 12. And Nashville SC is back on the pitch tomorrow night in Cincinnati with the pivotal Eastern Conference matchup against FC Cincinnati. With the win tomorrow night and the New York Red Bulls loss, Nashville can clinch their 5th MLS playoff berth in their 6th MLS season. First kick is at 6:30 p.m., and you can hear the game on the 104.5 The Zone app. For all your foundation repair and waterproofing needs, you've got to go to USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Titans and Vols. This is 104.5 The Zone.
A very good Friday morning to you in beautiful Music City, USA. This is Ramon and Will, fueled by Scooter's Coffee on a loaded Friday morning. Brent Hubbs of All Quested on 3 at 7:20. Television's Ron Slay at hour 3 at 8:20. Tate Matthews previews high school football week 4 at 9. Stephen Godfrey of the College Football Inquirer from Yahoo Sports at 9:20 in studio. We have got a ton to talk about, friends. Tennessee is going to take on Georgia at Neyland Stadium. Ramon Foster will be on the call for it. The Tennessee Titans will look for win number 1 against the Los Angeles Rams. We've got Vanderbilt with a massive opportunity to send a statement to the college football world against South Carolina. We've got big NFL takeaways from last night, and we've got 4 hours to do it. We're going to pack it all in to only 4 hours. He's Ramon Foster, Justin Hawkins, our producer. I'm Will Bowling, 615-737-1045 on Friday, September the 12th. I'm out of breath already, Ramon. Good morning.
Me too. But for other reasons I will not say over the airways. Will told me as I walked into the studio, oh, you having a Monday on a Friday is not okay. Let's just say I dropped something. But it's good now.
Great now.
Great now. Absolutely great now.
How we doing?
We're good, man. I'm excited for this weekend.
Yes.
Honestly, have you ever had those moments where you are asleep thinking? That was me.
Yeah.
All last night, thinking about this upcoming weekend. Oh, and VFLs everywhere, okay? Guess who fell off in my DMs yesterday?
Who's that?
Drew Beam.
Oh, okay.
He was listening to 3HL. He's like, yeah, I'm listening to 104.5 right now. He was just like, you guys got me amped up, ready to go play.
Hey, we got to get him on the show.
Yeah. Drew hit me, man. I was just like,
that's national champion Drew Beam.
That's what I'm saying,
Murfreesboro's own.
I didn't see the message until later anyway. Silly me. But he was like, listen, 104.5 right now on my drive home. Y'all got me fired up. Let's go. That's what I'm talking about. Josh and Joey going to take this one home is what he said.
Drew Beam, also a volunteer traditions advocate.
Yeah.
He did an NIL deal with them when he was pitching for Tennessee.
Us. Yeah, he is. He just like us out here, man.
Knows ball.
He does know ball. You know what I've noticed, too, about everybody that go to UT?
What's that?
No matter what sports you play, and Savage has said this often. You can be a national champion. You can have the hottest team on campus, but when football season comes around, it switches.
Yeah, absolutely.
You become a
fan.
Yeah, you become a football player.
Oh, man, I
almost.
remember getting back from my first cross country meet at Tennessee.
Yeah.
Or second cross country meet at Tennessee, and Tennessee was playing Arkansas that night in 2015. Evan Berry returned the opening kick for a touchdown. Ended up losing the game that day, though, unfortunately. But I remember our coach told us, "Hey, I don't want to see y'all on TV at the game. Y'all need to stay off your feet, all right?" We had a race in Louisville. We're going to take the bus back, watch the game from the dorm, stay off your feet. We'll have practice in the morning.
Yeah.
We were all at the game.
Of course you
Every
were.
single one of us was at the game. I don't know why she even recommended we didn't go to the game.
You knew this.
Absolutely.
Man. You absolutely. I'm talking about everybody, man. I remember being in college, and we were in Gibbs, which was the athletic dorm for the most part, eating lunch.
R.I.P.
At the RIP to Gibbs, man. And like the track girls understood it. The track guys understood it. Like volleyball, soccer, everybody, everybody became a football player, essentially. And I don't know, man. It's something about game days on Saturdays.
Well, you guys were also our recruiting visits for every sport, too.
That's true, too.
I mean, we would host recruits for football games, not for swim meets, respectfully. Like, what other sport are we going to go to?
Don't do swim.
we would host recruiting visits for basketball too, but mainly it was football.
It was come on over to this football game.
100%.
Yeah, I think they're supposed to have a big recruiting weekend this week. Well, obviously.
That's right.
But yeah, man, it's going to be a big weekend, man.
Talk about that with Brent Hubbs coming up at 7:20. We also have room for you at 615-737-1045. Last night of the NFL, the week begins with the Packers taking down the Washington Commanders 27-18. Jerry Jones single-handedly made Green Bay the best team in the NFL, didn't he?
I saw you tweet that last night.
And they are, it's not even a troll. It's not like it is a legitimate take that Micah Parsons makes an already excellent football team the Super Bowl favorite. Very early, they got to stay healthy. They've got to have a certain pathway to success that involves the right matchup of the postseason. We'll see if they get all those things. But my goodness, Ramon, they are very, very good at this.
Yes, they are, man. And I'll just say this early, and I know it's early in the season, too, and maybe he's going to get it. But Jordan Love got some airhead moments at times.
Fair.
They'll
go as far as he takes.
Yeah, because he's doing this Aaron Rodgers lean back throw, and I love it because he hits it. But he missed a touchdown in the end zone. Yeah. He missed a little looper midway through the game, too. And it ain't bad, but he just have those types of moments where it's just like, put a little zip on there. And that's, again, you got to have tape like this to make those type of corrections. But, Will, first pressure from Micah Parsons over the left guard. And then they moved him outside. And then they put him at linebacker.
They're going to take your worst offensive lineman and put Micah Parsons right in front of him.
He's going to point and say him, and then he's going to go beat him. And he did that last night, man. Like, even Rashawn Gary was getting busy last night because of the pressure that he was getting. Like, that's what Jerry Jones also is going to miss. And the Dallas Cowboys are teams that don't have a Micah Parsons.
Yeah, it's a lot more than the stat sheet for Micah.
It is. He had three guys on him yesterday. It was a tight end, it was a tackle, and it was a running back blocking him. And then there was a sack. Like, you were right when you said at first. I was like, yeah, that's a good sports take right there. We'll see how it unfolds. I wasn't judging you or anything. You know what I'm saying? Just one of them, we'll wait and see. But as it stands currently, Dallas doesn't have an effective person like that offensively or defensively.
Well, it's the second most important position in sports. Like, I mean, truly. Like, I mean, maybe not sports, but in football, beyond quarterback, an elite edge rusher totally changes the game on defense. Mm-hmm. I thought their defensive backs performed well, too.
Really did. I was about to yell, and I had to calm myself down right there.
That's okay. It's Friday.
Absolutely, man. Them dudes was breaking up footballs on the sidelines in the end zone. I'm just like, yeah. I know they had this history. It was Reggie White. They got him one in Super Bowl.
Vol.
And then it was Charles Woodson. Got him, won the Super Bowl.
Yeah, Nate Hobbs and Keyshawn Nixon may not be Charles Woodson, but they're pretty dang good on the outside.
They got some stuff about them, man, offensively too, man. Like they
and Evan Williams, second-year guy at Oregon. I mean, of course, Xavier McKinney, who's been around on the back end. Like that, I don't see a major weakness on that football team.
One is just showing itself. Only weakness I said is watching Jordan Love from time to time just float a ball up in the air that shouldn't be. He's got to put a little bit more zip on it. But who am I? I'm not a quarterback. I mean, according to our guy, you can't be a non-quarterback talking about quarterbacks like that or non-athletes. Ryan Clark took some heat.
Yeah, he did. I was wondering if that was going to come up.
Oh, he took some heat.
Sure did.
Well, you can't talk about football no more, okay? Because you ain't been in the three-point stands.
All right, well, I'm going to go take an early weekend then.
Yeah, see ya.
I'll enjoy it.
See ya. No, I'm joking. But what I'm saying is this. He took some heat.
Yeah, he did.
And rightfully so. You know, I respect your takes that you have and your opinions from the game, the perspective of it, too. My boy, you can't say that.
Yeah,
like, I know, what's his name? Who's the guy? Peter Schrager. I know he might not be the most favorite guy on TV, but I do like his perspective. That was tough.
Go ahead.
I was just going to say, he's had a rough couple of weeks, man.
Yeah, he has. Deebo Samuel, a long kickoff return to this game, scored late when this game was out of reach. Terry McLaurin kind of bottled up in this game. Jayden Daniels threw for only 200 yards on 42 attempts. Never had that big explosive run play that we became accustomed to last year. How do you think teams are going to adjust to Jayden Daniels this year?
I think they're going to side rush him, try to get him to flush out to his right or to his left, is what I saw yesterday. Michael Parsons was right through the middle to him and made him float. Like, if you got DBs that are good down the field, like, have a linebacker that's in coverage but have a spying on him, and you have the ability to kind of work on Jayden Daniels. That's what I saw last night. Again, no other team has the uniqueness of Michael Parsons right now to have that type of rush, but I see them rushing him from the right or from the left and making him get outside the pocket to prove that he can be dangerous with the football. Last night, he wasn't as dangerous as he was last year. This is the year to adjustment. This is where Jayden Daniels has to figure out, am I going to sit here and deliver the football because my guys are blocking for me, or am I going to try to be the wizard again? Those are the issues. They went and got you Laramie Tunsil to sit you down in the pocket more than you did last year because they know this. He can't live life like that.
Right.
Not in the NFL. Right. He just cannot live life on the run like that.
Yeah, I think it's going to be tricky just for that offense with the playmakers that it has to continue to evolve beyond Jayden Daniels just making plays. Mm-hmm. And he's so good that he can just, get by 4 or 5 guys on any given run and just break one.
That's true,
but a lot of what he does is not designed as well. A lot of what he does is just scrambling. And I'm curious how teams will defend them this year. I'm always fascinated by quarterbacks that have that good of rookie seasons and how defenses adjust to them. We'll see.
The best thing that happens for them in those situations is the franchise believe they can build more and more on top of it. I think that is the biggest takeaway now. It's on the quarterback. To your opinion, to your point, it's on the quarterback to be more than just that, though, too, moving forward.
615-737-1045 is our number. We are live from the 1045 The Zone Circus Sports Studio. Kentucky's largest sports book can now be found at Circus Sports at Kentucky Downs. Coming up, what is the Titans' pathway to upsetting the LA Rams in Nissan Stadium on Sunday? We'll tell you next.
Is your concrete in need of repair? Maybe your sidewalk has shifted on you, your driveway is cracked and sinking, or maybe your porch steps have moved on you. Shifting concrete can create a dangerous situation, just trip hazard around your home. It's also just a big eyesore. Shimon Foster, and whatever is going on with your concrete, call United Structural Systems. Ask them about their polyurethane foam injections. You've heard about USS for a long time. It's the same company that has provided superior foundation repair and waterproofing to Middle Tennessee since 1994. Well, they can also fix your sunken or settling concrete. USS uses polyurethane foam injections to lift and repair your sinking concrete in a matter of minutes. Lifted concrete can be walked on immediately or even driven on after about 30 minutes. So don't go through the long, expensive process of ripping out and replacing concrete. Reach out to the company I trust, man, and that's United Structural System. You can go to their website at ussTN.com. That's ussTN.com, or call them 615-488-7855. United Structural Systems.
Friday morning at Ramon and Will is fueled by Scooters Coffee. Every show here on the program is fueled by Scooters Coffee. Locally owned near you in Rivergate, Smyrna, Brentwood, White House, or Mount Juliet. Amazing people, amazing drinks, amazingly fast. Ramon has very graciously brewed the French vanilla blend this morning.
I did, man.
Excellent stuff.
Appreciate it. I made that for you this morning just to see if I passed the test of making a good pot of coffee. I took pride in that, okay, just so you know.
Yeah, you did a good job.
I thank you.
Well, we're going to need some extra coffee today, Ramon.
Talk to me.
Want to know why?
Why?
There's a hate watch that's going to start earlier this weekend.
Whoa, what are we talking about?
For all those Tennessee fans out there driving around like us, UCLA plays tonight, so we're going to need more coffee.
Oh, my gosh. Who they got?
New Mexico.
Let's go.
UCLA actually favored. So that new supporting cast that Nico wanted to go get, congratulations. You're favored for the first time.
Listen.
I'm really proud of you.
Equal opportunity haters over here.
That's
baby.
absolutely right. This is the Friday energy we're bringing this morning.
Yes, it is, especially the way they're going to negotiate behind Joey Aguilar's back like that. That just wasn't okay. That's bad business, man. And I know it happens, but.
Welcome to college football.
Welcome to college football.
9 o'clock on the Big Ten Network. Classic UCLA, New Mexico on the Big Ten Network. Love that.
Let's see if I got that channel
Love that for him. Probably.
Probably.
You have it at the hotel tonight?
Yeah.
Big Ten Network?
It'll be on.
I don't know if that's in a Knoxville hotel.
That's what I was going to say. I don't know about that. ACC, yes. Big Ten, probably not.
I don't know
Does
about that
my
one.
YouTube TV have it? I can just screen record it or whatever. Or mirror screen it. Whatever it is. Jesus.
There you go.
Yeah, we're there. We're so back.
Tennessee Titans, Los Angeles Rams, noon on Sunday from Nissan Stadium. What has to happen in order for the Titans to beat the Rams? Ramon Foster, what is the pathway to victory for the Titans on Sunday?
All right. Go on my notes, man. Must contain the rushers. It has to be that. That defense will punch you in the mouth. I'm talking about Byron Young, Jarrett Verse at those two positions. Looking back at Dan Moore's tape, it wasn't good. If I'm Jarrett Verse, I'm salivating. And that's coming from a very warm part of my heart right there from an offensive lineman's world. You put bad tape you put bad film on tape or bad plays on tape, you're going to have to pay for that. You got to clean it up quickly. Jarrett Verse is a quick rusher. He's a powerful rusher. He's a guy that can bend. He's a guy that might beat you into a pulp, and then eventually you'll submit. And that's what you can't have this upcoming weekend. I say all that, and damn, I end up having a wonderful day. But on the other side is Byron Young. And not just that side of it, but JC declared himself out already.
JC Latham will not play at right tackle.
I don't want to call it problematic, but looking at what Oli Udoh did last week and who are the guys may have to put in behind him or in front of him, or do you absolutely constrict the offense also if you got to sit in and chip guys? Like, I think what needs to be given more understanding to is this. When fans are asking for chips, it slows down the offense. It puts a pass catcher out slower than he should be in those moments, too. You don't want to have that problem. You want to have your 5 beat their 5. So asking for chips, it probably is going to be a slow developing play that you might only get a couple yards because they might have to dump it off.
You signed Dan Moore that way you wouldn't have to chip as much.
Exactly.
On the left side of the offensive line.
Facts.
And in this game, the right side is going to need the help because it will not be J.C. Latham. It'll either be Oli Udoh or John Ojukwu.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just making an assumption there because you would imagine the same way the Titans elevated Corey Levin to be Lloyd Cushenberry's backup, they will likely elevate John Ojukwu. I saw Easton Freeze talking about that yesterday about OJ, you're going to need another right tackle. So unless you're willing to throw Brendan Crenshaw-Dixon out there already in his second game as an NFL player, as an undrafted rookie, I'm just reading between the lines. You don't have to be a detective to realize that there's going to have to be somebody else. So whether they go find someone, I doubt it. They've got John Ojukwu on the practice squad for that reason.
Mm-hmm. No doubt. But it's a problem. I think everybody in the stadium is going to be watching the offensive line to see what happens over there. Protection of Cam is key.
Yeah, I think Oli Udoh, a guy who's played a lot of football, by the way.
He has 7 years, right?
Yeah, he's been around. I mean, I'd expect him to be in there. And we'll talk more about that coming up in hour 2. But regardless of who's playing where on this offensive line, and even if J.C. Latham was totally healthy, this was going to be my key, Ramon. Mm-hmm. The Titans have to be functional against pressure. They were not in Denver against the Broncos. So Cam Ward, obviously the first rookie quarterback to start week 1 for the Titans since Marcus Mariota in 2015, the only rookie quarterbacks in the Titans era to be rookies and start week one. He was hunting downfield, which I liked.
Yeah.
And I think I want to see more of on Sunday because that's an easy way to get the ball out of his hand quickly and just go long. I mean, Carson Wentz made a career out of underthrowing wide receivers and getting pass interference calls down the field. The NFL rules are built for you being rewarded for trying to create explosive plays.
Facts.
Cam Ward targeted wide receivers downfield. That's 10-plus air yards on 42.9% of attempts. That was the 7th highest rate in the NFL. He completed one of them. Under 10 yards, Cam Ward was 11 of 13. Now, that's not all his fault. Obviously, we know the context around the drops, around the lack of just cohesive timing on some of those seam routes. Cam Ward faced pressure on 80% of his dropbacks. He went 0 for 6 and was sacked on 4 of them. So right there, hitting on explosives to open up the run game. I don't see a world where the Titans can just make this a slog for 60 minutes again against that Rams defensive front and against a couple of really athletic and sound run defending inside linebackers as well. So first and foremost, it's similar, honestly, to the keys we're going to talk about with Tennessee against Georgia. You got to hit on some of these deep passing plays to open up everything else. And some offenses, you open up the pass with the run. Ramon, this offense is going to have to open up the run with the pass.
Yes, they are. Absolutely will. They got to soften them up because you use their aggressiveness against them in these type of moments. Like, I love to see just the fake runs, like draw plays. That's not a fake run, but like the perception that you're dropping back, giving it to Tony Pollard, like the quick screens behind the line of scrimmage. Everything this week because of the scenarios of the offensive tackles. And I'm throwing Dan in there too. You got to get the ball out quick. The quick hitters have to make a whole lot of yards for you so they drop back or at least spread out some, man. Nickel runs need to be something they're specialized in. And also, man, with the idea that you may remove one of those good run-stopping linebackers that you bring up right there, Will. Nate Landman, who had a 90.7 PFF score, if that matters to you, week one. No matter what, that's cooking. They will get you. They made Houston look pedestrian last week, I felt like, on offense. And a lot of people feel like, at least I do, C.J. Stroud, one of the better quarterbacks in the league when it comes to the young guys. And he made them look bad.
So in week one, the Rams only blitzed on 23.5% of the Texans' dropbacks, but they generated a 75% pressure rate when they did. 4th highest in the NFL. So we'll see how much LA decides to try to heat up Cam Ward, try to send extra rushers at him, or maybe they just do kind of what they do and say, hey, we can get home with 4. There's no reason to send anyone extra. I believe they will load the box. I think they will try to take away Tony Pollard and say, good luck, try to throw it over the top on us. Now, the positive of that from the Titans' perspective is these corners are not as good as Denver's. And I think there are vulnerabilities within the LA Rams secondary that the Titans could exploit. So Darius Williams didn't play last week. Kind of a weird situation there. There's talks of trading him. He's making $9 million. Just hasn't been on the field for LA. So former, I have parentheses, failed, first rounder Emmanuel Forbes is on one side. Akello Witherspoon and Kobe Durant, who had a pick last week, are the other two. There's not a star lockdown corner on that defense.
It's not.
And I think Calvin Ridley has a bounce-back game on Sunday. That's another thing. And my second bullet point on what has to happen for the Titans to get a win over the Rams, Calvin Ridley's got to be the Calvin Ridley we saw in camp. Yeah. And to his credit, he often does bounce back after games like he had on Sunday.
Yeah, absolutely. And here's a part of it for me. Just pride-wise, like, he has to do it. He pretty much got locked down last week, shut down, man. And Akello Witherspoon, I remember seeing him with the Steelers. Like, to your point, these guys aren't just world beaters that he's going up against this upcoming weekend. And even in the safety positions, it's not anything that you feel like that you can't beat and have these guys in the right position. The issue is will Cam Ward? Will Cam Ward have time to actually deliver the football if they are generating pressure soon? Calvin's got to get open quick. He's got to break those guys down fast. And it may be, Will, more closer to the line of scrimmage. It may be quick outs. He's just got to get started to where he becomes a problem to them. And the other guys on the other side of him have to play their part too. Like Alec Ayumaner, this is a game that I'm sure he's salivating for because, again, he's not from the West Coast, but he's played on the West Coast. He's seen these guys. You understand what this defense is too. And again, you got to catch the football when it comes your direction. I know I said last week, Cam's got to find ways to add a little bit more of a catchable football. They got to catch it. They got to bring it in. There is being in the right spot that quarterbacks expect you to be in, that they have to do their part too. What's better? Who makes who better in this weekend? Do the wide receivers make Cam better, or does he make them better? Either way, the ball's got to be brought in no matter what, man. And again, the tight end's playing a part in it.
Yeah.
Can't fall asleep on those dudes, man. Well, absolutely not.
And I think, too, like, Cam doesn't need a ton of time to just take a shot every now and then, because that's what Denver gave him last week. One-on-one on the outside, man coverage, and we're going to blitz you with everybody else. Yeah. Or at least we're going to put linebackers over the center and double mug up front and then drop those guys in coverage. And still, like, teams are going to leave corners on islands until the Titans prove otherwise, that they can win those one-on-ones against them.
No doubt.
So, yeah, it's a concern about how much time Cam Ward has to throw with whoever's going to play right tackle. You imagine it's Oli Udoh at right tackle. But at the same time, how much time do you need to just say, hey, Alec, go long?
Yeah.
Because we saw that. Like, Alec Ayumaner had a lot of opportunities in deep passes, including the one where his elbow hit and should have been challenged and probably should have been a catch. Like, that ball got out quick. Mm-hmm. Is there more of that we can see from the Titans offense against a more vulnerable secondary? Still a good secondary, but a more vulnerable secondary.
It is. I worry about the rush more than their secondary, to your point. But speaking of secondaries, I go to my second point. Got to clean up the DPIs. If I'm at why do teams love veteran quarterbacks? It's because they know how to operate. They know who to go at. Peyton Manning would always go at the young guy or the guy that had issues in the secondary, man. And that guy this week is Jarvis Brownlee. You cannot get grabby with these Puka Nacua. They're going to call it. It's Puka Nacua. He's got a name. Devontae Adams, he's got a name. He's going to call it. Matthew Stafford, he's got a name. He's going to politic for those calls, and he's going to get them. I hope there's a correction that happens this week from Denard Wilson down to Jarvis Brownlee to make sure that he's not helping that offense have extended drives. That kills you. No matter how close you get to the quarterback, no matter what your defensive line is doing up front, if he is harassing them more than the referees are allowing, the defense is going to be out there for a very long time. Stafford is a smart guy. He's going to find Jarvis Brownlee and pick him. You got to clean up the DPIs this week.
Yeah, and for Jarvis Brownlee, Denard Wilson talked about it this week and said it's about how physical he's being at the top of routes. It's one thing to be physical when you are getting off the line of scrimmage, but at the top of a route on a 10-yard hitch, as a guy's trying to turn back to the football, you got to know when you can be handsy.
Yes, I heard Blaine speaking about it yesterday on Zach and Blaine, or Blaine and Zach. He was just saying those guys get nervous at the top of those routes, even though they're step for step with them, and they don't continue their technique in those moments. And that's part of the young guy aspect of what Jarvis Brownlee is. Or, I mean, he was, a sixth-rounder? I mean, I believe he has the athletic toolbox to be able to keep up with those guys. But this isn't college. You're not the big dog anymore. You got to work your reputation up when it comes down to getting getting those calls or non-calls against you. Yeah. That was just problematic last week. And you got two guys that are doing the exact same thing on top of Tyler Higbee, too.
Different rush plan for the Titans defense in this game. And I think my question for the defense on how they operate is, how do you try to heat up Matthew Stafford? Against 4 or fewer pass rushers in week 1 against the Houston Texans, Matthew Stafford completed 17 of his 21 pass attempts. That's an 81% completion percentage for 180 yards and a touchdown. My other question is, who's playing in the interior offensive line for LA?
That was my third point, but go ahead.
Yeah, if Steve Avila and Kevin Dotson aren't playing, or if one of those guys aren't playing. Yeah, he was limited.
Yep.
Avila did not practice. Havenstein, I think, will go at tackle.
I think so.
So who do you pick on that offensive line? That has been a problem for the LA Rams when they have to go to their backup lineman, and Matthew Stafford is pressured. he is not the same quarterback. He's also not as athletic as he used to be to get away from the rush. 17th season for the former Detroit Lion and now Super Bowl winning LA Ram quarterback. That's my question is, can Jeffrey Simmons create enough disruption up the middle to get him off his spot and for the Titans defense to have success? I think they can. And I think Jeffrey Simmons is the game record that could be the ultimate X factor in this football game.
That's the way I'm viewing it. That was my third point also. Wreck the new guys. If Kevin Dotson, or right guard, isn't in the game, then you got to wreck his guy. If Avila is not in at left guard, you have to wreck his guys. It's Bo Limmer is their names, and also Justin Didich is the guards or replacements. You have to get them going backwards.
Bo Limmer, Arkansas guy, I believe.
Is he? Oh, Arkansas out here. Yes, you're right. Absolutely. 6'5", 307. Guards are tall.
Yeah, I remember him in the draft last year, I want to say.
Yes, that's exactly when it was.
There you go.
Yep.
For those who knew what I was talking about.
I mean, you know ball from time to time, man.
It's one of the coach back there.
But they have to get after him. They got to force Stafford to move. Now, I will say this. Stafford has a little bit more ability than I think I'm giving him credit for. He knows how to escape. He knows how to be smart with the ball. But you also have to be good on the back end of the defense to make sure his guys aren't coming open. Puka Nacua, man, is the wide receiver version of Travis Kelce at this point. He finds the open spots every single time. He's tough. He's not afraid to take a hit. And that's where, for him, being very quarterback friendly, your secondary's got to be good. Guys dropping in zone got to make Stafford see stuff that he's not seeing.
Well, and he's more physical, I think, too, Ramon, than what he gets credit for.
Puka? Yeah. Absolutely.
He's not a very big guy, but he's thick. And he has also been kind of their internal Cooper Kupp replacement. He's playing a lot more in the slot. He's not playing as much outside. Played 44% of his snaps through the slot in week 1 against the Houston Texans. He was closer to 20% of slot deployment a season ago. And with Devontae Adams outside, he doesn't have to be as much of an outside receiver. So I think the Titans defense could have some success in this game against that Rams offensive line. Tavondre Sweat's availability being up in the air. I mean, we always talk about how don't worry about Wednesday injury reports, but if a guy doesn't practice again on Thursday, there's a little bit of worry there. Yeah. So today will be critical to see for both Tavondre and obviously we know J.C. Latham is out already as well. But we'll see. We'll see what the Titans can do to disrupt Matthew Stafford. I don't see this being a super high-scoring game. I think you're looking at a similar game flow as Sunday in Denver, to be honest with you.
This time around, though, I look at this. I don't think the Titans' defense is going to surprise LA's offense the way I feel like it surprised Denver's offense. I think the Titans got off the bus hot. I think the awareness of what the Titans are defensively, they're going to be very good at the line of scrimmage. They're going to be very physical, and they're going to seek out turnovers. 4 turnovers in a game, man. That raises a lot of people's eyes in the NFL the way it did against Denver this past weekend. So this offense is what I'm getting at. The Titans offense has to be strategic on making sure that they're not giving the opposing offense freebies or the short field and turning the football over or getting sacks in the red zone. Like, those are the things I feel like there's more pressure on this Titans offense than it is on the defense to make sure they're being efficient. And to be quite honest with you, Will, I, at this point, don't know how efficient they're going to be, but I do feel as you do. I do think Calvin has a bounce-back week to where he can break down somebody that's not Patrick Surtain this week and get open.
Yep. I think it's a big Calvin Ridley week. No doubt. Brian asks on YouTube, what's the stadium look like fan-wise? Right now I'm leading 50-50. I don't think it's anywhere close to that. Rams don't have that many fans.
That's
respectfully. I mean, I don't think anyone's traveling. I mean, I'm sure somebody will. Like, if Rams fans are in the stadium, it's because they live here and moved from California. But there aren't that many Rams fans in California. So I don't know. Like, and St. Louis has kind of denounced them. A lot of them are Colts fans now. From people I've talked to. So, I mean, I don't. Plus, I think a lot of you guys, and I say this with all due respect, I don't blame you for being negative this week. A lot of the negativity that we see online is just online. Like, this is still the home opener. This is still a lot of fans' first opportunities to see Cam Ward play quarterback for the Tennessee Titans. I think it's going to be a very pro-Titans crowd.
I do, too.
Very pro-Titans crowd. I think it's going to be a good crowd on Sunday.
I go 80-20 just because other fan bases will travel. 80-20 Titans.
Rams are not the kind of fan base that's going to show up and draw. I mean, heck, when we played Sunday Night Football there 4 years ago, it was about 40% Titans fans in SoFi.
Right.
So I I don't understand the cynicism all the time, guys. Like, Brian, I appreciate you for watching, but like, there are things to be negative about, but not everything is that negative. I think it's going to be a good crowd.
This was an East Coast team, or like Minnesota last year shocked me.
Minnesota was
shocked
deep.
Yeah, I didn't realize it was at
Green Bay was
Green Bay. It's regional. It's the way I view this one.
Right.
Or you got to be like Seahawks fans. I think will travel, but even still, last time I didn't think it was that crazy. Amount of Seahawks fans either.
615-737-1045 is our number. Tomorrow, a big one in Columbia, South Carolina. We'll preview Commodores and Gamecocks to wrap up hour one next. Hey, it's Will Bowling. You've heard me talk about how Lead Company makes life better for homeowners and facility managers. But did you know they do the same for their team? If you're looking for a rewarding career, Lead Company is hiring skilled tradespeople in HVAC, plumbing, electrical, sheet metal, and more. With 80-plus years in the business, Lead Company invests in its award-winning team with training, benefits, and real career growth. I'm telling you, when you've been in business for over 80 years, you learn how to do business the right way. Lead Company has called Middle Tennessee home for a long time, since 1944. They're available 24/7. They have 1,800-plus employees. And Lead Company, they love being involved in our communities, whether that's Little League, high school sports, local events, sponsorships, you name it. They're also proud partners of the Tennessee Titans and Nashville Predators. Join the Lead Company team. Head online and apply today at leadcompany.com/careers. That's leadcompany.com/careers. Lead Company, all you need. Ramona Willow, 104.5 The Zone, wrapping up hour number 1. Hit the podcast feed if you miss any of our discussions on this loaded Friday lineup. Brent Hubbs in a half hour. Ron Slay in hour 3 at 8:20. Tate Matthews at 9 a.m. plus Stephen Godfrey in studio after that at 9:20. Your phone calls at 615-737-1045. Ramon Foster, what has Vandy got to do to upset South Carolina on the road in the cockpit tomorrow night?
Got to be disciplined, block out the noise. It's going to be rambunctious there. That is one of the more toxic places I played at in college. They want to be known as that too. And if Vandy can go in and defensively shut them down in that aspect, I think they got something, man. Defensively, Clark Lee's group, from what I've seen in the first couple of weeks, they're at where they're supposed to be. They're very physical right now, but they got a guy that's playing quarterback right now that can run like a running back. Can they contain him and put them in bad situations? To be quite honest with you, I can't tell you much about South Carolina's wide receivers.
Well, there's a reason. They don't have any. Other than Nick Harbor, who's just kind of like a Swiss Army knife who can run probably a 4.2, like a major question mark. So the wide receiver position for South Carolina.
I'm glad you picked that up because I can't tell you anything.
No.
Like defensively, like South Carolina to me is Lenore Sellers and defense. The running game.
They might have the two best players in the SEC.
Yeah. And we're seeing nothing out of them, man. Like this.
Right.
I hope Shane Beamer does his thing where he can get them going, and he's a heck of a motivator from what I've seen.
Sure.
But you got to coach. Motivation only takes you so far until you see a little bit of adversity. So, to me, Vandy has to play sound against Lenore Sellers, and that's it to me. Savage, and here's what I will tell you. I know South Carolina offensive line. I know he knows them. Don't ask me how I know, but I know he knows them. He says they're trash. He said they're not that good. And if Vanderbilt can get some pressure against them at home, Lenore Sellers is null and void to me at that point.
So, defensively, I think the key for South Carolina in this game, if you look at their perspective, can they sustain the kind of run defense they've had against lesser opponents against Vanderbilt? Against Virginia Tech and South Carolina State, opponents are averaging 2.5 yards per carry, 71 carries for a combined 177 rushing yards. Vandy, by the way, has a 16-game losing streak to South Carolina.
Get out of here.
That's a long time to have not beaten South Carolina.
They don't play every year.
Well, I mean, they did.
They did? Oh.
Yeah, the SEC East. Yes. So, yeah, they have played every year.
I'm tripping. Okay, yes.
So, a streak that is on the line there, obviously. South Carolina last season kicked Vandy's butt, and Vandy knows it. Clark Lee said it was painful. We talked about it, said he lost it at halftime. Clark Lee did, because he didn't feel like his team had the spirit and energy that they needed to in that game. The difference is that was at the end of a gauntlet that included the Alabama game, that included the close loss to Texas, that included the win at Auburn. I think Vandy was out of gas by the time South Carolina came to town last year, and I think they got a full tank this time around. They are bigger and more physical up front on that offensive line. They have retooled that offensive line to win games like this one. And that is the story of Vanderbilt's season that, if you've been listening to this show, we have covered extensively since really June. Vandy has a reworked offensive line to try to take the next step as an offense and as a program and impose their will when they need to. The question for Vandy defensively is, can you keep Lenore Sellers from improvising and creating? That's the question for me in this game, because Lenore Sellers is going to get his in the run game, and he's going to create some explosive plays. But when a play breaks down, can you just get him on the ground? I mean, he is like what Mike Keith has described Josh Allen like on this show. He's like a single-wing tailback playing quarterback. He's huge. I mean, he's 6'5", about 240 pounds, like a hard guy to bring down. Is this the game where it finally clicks for South Carolina? They've got all these pieces that haven't yet come together as an offense behind maybe the best and most talented quarterback, just raw ability-wise in the SEC. I got to see it. I think it's low scoring. I think it's a rock fight. I do think Carolina makes a play late on either side of the ball to win this game really close late in the game, but I think this is a classic. I think it's one of the games of the weekend.
I do too. I usually just look at ESPN Sportsbook or whatever just to check out the points. Yesterday I told you it was 4.5. You told me yours said 4. This morning the South Carolina Vanderbilt game is down to 3.5 for whatever it's worth.
And 3.5 just means home field advantage.
Yeah, that's what that means.
Like if Vandy was at home, they don't have much of a home field advantage. But if they were at home, I mean, this would at least be just a pick 'em.
Yeah,
I mean, come on, we gotta be honest. Like,
I know, but I don't want to make
neutral field. This might be just a pickup straight up between these two.
I don't want to make this seem like Vanderbilt's just going to run down on them, because I do have respect for what the special teams component of South Carolina is, and also defensively.
It's still Beamer ball.
That defense of South Carolina, can they get to Diego Pavia? Can they stop the left to right to left, back and forth that Vanderbilt does and get to Diego Pavia? Also, I do think they have guys on that South Carolina defense that can cover Eli Stowers, that can get the wide receivers down the field too. Their safety's ability to run and go across the defense and make tackles has to be huge this game for them too. This ain't a walk in and take over your trap type of situation, but I know this. Vanderbilt's been in a couple of situations. Well, one this year at going to Blacksburg against Virginia Tech, and they understand how to block out the noise, how to be the Lions in the pit right now.
I mean, they already have a shared opponent.
Yeah, they do.
Vandy was all over Virginia Tech.
Down.
South Carolina needed a punt return late to feel comfortable at the end of that game. So we'll see. I mean, South Carolina on paper is the better football team.
Yeah,
there's no debating that. But they got to go do it. And Vandy rebuilt everything on offense this year with new players in order to be more physical. This is a really physical defense you're going up against. Who is the more physical team in this game? We're going to find out. Coming up, Titans will be without a major contributor on offense. How does it change their plan to beat the Los Angeles Rams? That's next.
It's Ramon and Will here for Window Nation. And whether you have old drafty windows or cheap builder-grade windows, now is the best time to replace those windows. Protect your home ahead of the fall and winter weather. Get replacement windows from Window Nation. Y'all know it gets cold here, it gets hot here. There's a lot of back and forth. Keep your hot air in the winter and keep your cool air in also, man. So get top quality, energy-efficient windows from a trusted company like Window Nation.
And Ramon, Window Nation also has excellent offers for the people as well. Save big this month. Buy 2 windows, get 2 free. You won't have to deal with monthly payments, a down payment, or interest until 2027. We trust Window Nation because of their A-plus rating for the Better Business Bureau, because of the 96% customer satisfaction rating. Whatever the weather is outside, you want that to stay outside. You want whatever your home to feel like, whether you keep it really cool, whether you keep it warmer. You want that inside air to be inside air. Window Nation Windows will help with that. 866-90Nation is the number to call, or you can head online to windownation.com. Schedule a fast free estimate now with the pros at Window Nation online at windownation.com.
It is 7:01. Good Friday morning, live from the 104.5 The Zone Studios. I'm Justin Hawkins. The Tennessee Titans home opener versus the LA Rams coming up Sunday with kickoff set for 12 p.m. at Nissan Stadium. Right tackle J.C. Latham told reporters yesterday after practice that he would not play against the Rams on Sunday as he deals with a hip injury. Quandre Diggs, Devondre Sweat, and Khalil Mullings also missed practice for the second day in a row. And L'Jarius Sneed, Kevin Winston Jr., and Arden Key were limited once again. Week 2 of the NFL season kicked off last night as the Green Bay Packers shut down the Washington Commanders 27-18. Packers tight end Tucker Kraft was the star of the night, hauling in 6 receptions for 124 yards and a touchdown. Jordan Love threw for 292 yards and 2 touchdowns. 2 injuries last night. Packers wide receiver Jaden Reed suffered a clavicle fracture and will head to injured reserve for an expected 6 to 8 weeks. And Commanders running back Austin Eckler is believed to have suffered a season-ending torn Achilles injury, pending an MRI. Number 15, Tennessee Vols take on number 6, Georgia Bulldogs in Knoxville at Neyland Stadium with kickoff set for 2:30 p.m. Central Time. You can hear Mike Keith and Ramon Foster on the call right here on 104.5. The Zone coverage begins at 12. And Nashville SC, they're back on the pitch tomorrow night in Cincinnati with a pivotal Eastern Conference matchup against FC Cincinnati. With a win tomorrow night and a New York Red Bulls loss or tie, Nashville can clinch their 5th MLS playoff berth in their 6th MLS season. First kick is at 6:30 p.m., and you can hear the game on the 104.5 The Zone app. For all your foundation repair and waterproofing needs, you've got to go to USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Titans and Vols. This is 104.5 The Zone.
Hour number 2 getting started on this Friday morning. You are listening to Ramon and Will. You could be watching Ramon and Will, fueled by Scooter's Coffee. If you hop on your smart device, Facebook Live, YouTube, Twitter, or Twitch, the F&M Bank chat open for your comments. If you watch it on Facebook Live, Twitter, or Twitch, we're glad you're there, but we invite you to head over to the YouTube channel. It's where most of our community interacts, converses, trash talks, gives predictions, gives positivity, gives negativity, for sure. 615-737-1045, or you can make your voice heard this morning as well. Ramon Foster, J.C. Latham ruled himself out yesterday in the locker room ahead of Titans and Rams on Sunday, saying, you try to power through everything, just made it worse, thought I was good to go for the game with a hip injury, felt amazing by the time the game came. Then a couple plays in, things started to happen. It's pretty frustrating. Says it is a strain. All he can do is take treatment and medication to heal and reduce inflammation, but there is not much else available to him beyond rest. So, Titans are expected to go with Oli Udoh at right tackle. I imagine they would elevate John Ojukwu from the practice squad as well to have another option at tackle. Ramon, how does the absence of J.C. Latham impact the Titans' game plan against the Los Angeles Rams?
It can be grave. Okay. Like, you knew you had security of having J.C. be able to hold the pocket integrity. I know he gave up a sack last week, not excuse making for him, but we see the hip issue was a problem for him also. It was very problematic for him. But the issue that he has, this team has, is there aren't many starting right tackles walking around on the street. Guys are backups for a reason. It's not dismissing those guys, but there is a level down or two that you go to whenever you have to go to one of your backups. What you also do is this, especially on the offensive line, you set yourself up in a way to where you gotta retool what the offense is doing based upon how that new guy plays in the game. If your new guy can sustain the same run blocking that JC does have, cool. All right, that's a bonus. We don't have to change much. If he can hold up to the pass rush the way you expect JC to do, fine. Oh, we don't have to change much. But that's probably not going to be the case, because if that was the case, that guy would be a starter on another team. It just complicates the game day operations on play calling. If I want to take a shot and go play action and this guy hasn't been used to doing this because he's not a starter or he hasn't gotten these reps live in a very long time, then it takes away from you. It does. Well, it creates a bullseye more than anything before the game ticks off. It wouldn't shock me if the defensive coordinator for the Los Angeles Rams just said, yes, we're taking him and we're taking him out because they're down one of their main starters. And here's the other part. It's early in the season. You think it's problematic that you have a tackle out, your starting tackle, but it just adds to the fact that Cam Ward's a rookie quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
How does he adjust to this moment, too?
And that is Chris Shula, the defensive coordinator of the Los Angeles Rams.
This is a young, powerful, quick, motivated defense that the Rams have.
When they blitz, they get home. And last season, they generated consistent pressure when blitzing. According to Next Gen Stats, the Rams recorded the fourth highest pressure rate in the league last season when blitzing, 46.4% of the time. So that is the concern, is that when they send extra heat, it often gets there. I think the game plan changes to how do we get the ball out of Cam Ward's hands as quickly as possible. And I think more than anything, Ramon, it's how do we give him an option if his primary isn't there? Because Cam is going to have to be a bit more familiar with, A, his plan to step up in the pocket and find a seam to get away, or B, who his check down is. I think there were times on Sunday, if I'm nitpicking his opening performance, where he's got to find the check down. The 2 sacks he took to get out of the red zone after the muffed punt, Brian Callahan talked about it when he was asked this week. There were check down options. He's got to find them.
Yeah.
The answer is not always going to be stepping up, running, and creating off script. Sometimes you don't have a lane to step up, and you can't be running out of the back of the pocket. Because you run out of the back of the pocket, faster NFL edge rushers and defensive linemen are going to take you down for significant losses that knock you out of field goal range the way you did on Sunday. And that showed up on Cam's film, and that's something that, Ramon, a lot of college quarterbacks do. They have the athleticism to run out of the back of the pocket and essentially run backwards to then get away from edge rushers who they are more physical and athletic than in college. Well, those guys are equally or more athletic than you in the NFL.
And the discipline is different.
Right. I don't want to see him running out of the back of the pocket. Either step up if you can find a lane or find your check down, I think is how the game plan changes a little bit. And I think, too, it's taking deep shots that get the ball quickly out of his hand. We talked about it in hour one. If you see Elikiah Manor or Calvin Ridley one-on-one on the outside, go for it. And Cam's going to let that rip. It comes down to, can you connect on some of those to force those defensive backs to just take a half step back, or them put a safety back a little bit to then open up the run game. That's what the key is for the Titans on Sunday.
So your point about what they're what it needs to look like this weekend for this team to win, I think there's a non-player that has to have a bigger day than everybody out there, and that is Brian Callahan. He has to call it up. He has to dial it. He's got to be this week specifically at home. There's pressure involved in this, considering the reaction from the fan base. I know you don't hear all of that, but there is pressure in performing in game one.
No doubt.
He's without J.C. Latham this week. You already don't have Tajay. You looked incompetent last week as a team for the most part with some of the stuff that you were doing. His ability to call it and deliver plays that you say, "Ooh, that was a smart call right there." He has to show that this upcoming week, this Sunday. I think that is probably one of the biggest tests that he, as a play caller, as a coach, has to pass this weekend.
615-737-1045 is our number. It is time for our weekly poem, our lyrics from our Shakespearean Vols fan. Zach is in Hendersonville this morning. Good morning, Zach.
Morning, Zach.
Good morning, Ramon, Will, Jayhawk. It's SEC opening week. It just means more. All right, let's get it, guys. Jacob, you almost had it, Eason.
Man, you ain't handsome.
Nick, sorry about that. Chubb.
Freaking bum.
Isaiah, infamous rapper and Titan legend Wilson.
This freaking clown.
Jalen, Hot Tua Carter.
Ooh.
Freaking bum.
Yeah, I just have a little poem for the entire University of Georgia. Reckless driving, Joey Swagular thriving, Georgia's playoff chances diving, Deshaun, Starr, Peyton, juking and jiving, Kirby's ladies golf visor hiding that bald spot. Ball's gonna win, and Stockton's draft stock is in the pot. while Arion and Boo's NFL draft stock going to be rising a lot. It don't matter.
Vols by Fitty. Yes, sir. Go on,
go.
Zach.
Roger Top.
Zach in Hendersonville. Thank you, sir.
Vols by Fitty. That's
Well
what
done.
I'm talking about.
That's well done.
He bringing it, man. A little history.
Visor bald spot hiding is crazy. And accurate.
He combing that thing over to hide the roof, huh?
Kirby ain't as good as he once was. VolQuest's Brent Hubbs joins us next. The latest injury updates on a couple of key Tennessee starters. Are they going to suit up? What the key is to beating the Dawgs for the first time since Jawan Jennings' Hail Mary. Brent Hubbs joins us next.
If I had to describe Two Rivers Ford in 3 words, I'd call them the un-car dealer. What do I mean by that, you're probably asking? Most people think of car dealerships as a place that tries to press you or upsell you, but not at Two Rivers Ford. Two Rivers Ford has a non-commissioned sales team that gets paid to help you, not to sell you, all right? So there's literally zero pressure at all going over there, all right? And Two Rivers Ford sells most of their vehicles at invoice, so the prices are always the best around. And at Two Rivers Ford, they don't do things like add accessories and then try to upcharge you. Doing business with Two Rivers Ford is literally like doing business with the family. I know because I'm also a Two Rivers Ford customer. So if you're in the market for a vehicle, go to the Un-Car Dealer, car dealer. That's Two Rivers Ford, the South's most trusted Ford dealer.
Prince's Hot Chicken, the original hot chicken. They know a thing or two about hot, so they are bringing you the hottest moments of the week from Ramon and Will. Justin Hawkins here. This is a segment I like to call Prince's Hot Mic.
Guess who just got back today? Those wild-eyed boys that had been away.
I love this song. I don't know the words of it. I can just melody the hell out of this song. Just who just got bad. Like, that's all I got for you. And then he starts going.
That's an interesting riff.
That's a clip.
The boys are back in town.
You know, there are some people who have that pet peeve where they hate when people sing along to songs they don't know.
Yeah.
Those people would not like to hear Ramon Foster sing music.
I hate to see me coming when a jingle come on, baby.
Hot mics and hot chicken. Prince's knows hot. Prince's Hot Chicken, the original hot chicken.
Friday morning continues at Ramon and Will. We are fueled by Scooters Coffee. If you're heading on I-40 to Knoxville, Scooters Coffee, Mount Juliet, right there off the interstate. It'll get you caffeinated. It'll get you a little bit closer to Rocky Top, Tennessee, and Georgia tomorrow. You'll hear it here, courtesy of the Vol Network, on that broadcast and on this show every Friday. He is VolQuest's Brent Hubbs joining us to break it all down. Brent, good morning. How are you?
I'm doing well. Good morning, guys. How we doing?
We're good. How does the sideline equipment for you, Brent, in an environment as loud as Neyland Stadium is going to be tomorrow? Like, do you have a noise-canceling headphones ready? You're turning that thing up all the way to 11? Like, it's going to be hard to hear Mike Keith and Ramon Foster tomorrow.
It will not be hard to hear Mike Keith. I can promise you that. My man will be revved up, ready to roll. I do have my noise canceling headphones, and I will have them cranked up loud. It will be. It'll be exciting, and I'm looking forward to this environment. I've never really experienced this. I was down field side in '98 when Travis. I didn't have the whole game down there, but. I was not doing anything on air for the network at the time, so I went down to get ready to go get Houston Nutt for post-game interview in the Arkansas game, and was down there when Arkansas stumbled and fumbled, and then obviously we had the Henry show for the next 6 snaps or whatever, and that moment I was doing something with ESPN radio because it was a big deal. Yeah, I mean, number 1 team in the country is going to lose, right? And well, I would just remember the producer screamed into my phone, "Go," after the fumble, and I have no idea what I said. I have no idea if anybody heard me. It was so loud in there, you couldn't hear a thing. So hopefully there's some moments tomorrow where it's really loud, and I'm sure it will be. It should be great. It should be a great environment.
Brent, where is this game won or lost for you? It feels like we can break down this matchup from so many different perspectives, but if you're picking one thing Tennessee has to do to upset Georgia tomorrow, where do you begin?
Middle of the football field on both sides. Tennessee's got to protect the quarterback, particularly in the interior, because that's where Georgia's brought a lot of their pressure package stuff the last 4 years. So Tennessee's center guards have to be really good in there. Tennessee's given up 18 sacks in the last 4 years. They've got to be better than that. And then Tennessee's secondary has got to hold up, particularly in the middle of the field with the safeties, because I think that's where Georgia will continue to try to attack Tennessee. Last year, Carson Beck had a field day, 199 yards and 2 touchdowns between the numbers. I think they'll come at Tennessee's safety, so Turrentine has to be better this year than last year. Farouk's going to have to be the best he's been, and Tennessee's got to play the middle of the field well.
Hubbs, when you we're joined by Brent Hubbs of All Question on 3 this morning, Matt. Hubbs, defensively for Georgia, where do you see the strongest part of them to where they should want to attack UT going into it? Because that's the thing about it. They hadn't shown much against Marshall or Austin Peay. Is it the edge? Is it up the middle? Or the secondary that could be more problematic for the Vols?
I think it's up the middle, and that's why it's one of my keys, Ramon. And I think that's where being vanilla comes into play. If you were great off the edge, and look, they may play great tomorrow off the edge, I don't know. But if you were an elite team off the edge, I think you'd have more than 3 sacks just by natural play, right? Mm-hmm. Just if you're vanilla and you're bringing 4 against those 2 teams, you think more guys get home if you're really, really good off the edge. And they're good, they're talented. But if they were elite off the edge, I think they would have more than 3 sacks. So I think where the exotic stuff comes in, the lack of vanilla, if you will, comes in with what they do with their pressure package, and that includes their inside linebacker blitzes, because that's where they've come from. That's where they've made their hay against Tennessee defensively. So I think that part of it, when I look at Georgia's defense, I think they're good on the corners. I mean, I don't know that they're littered with top 10 picks. I mean, I don't think this defense is not necessarily the minor league team for the Eagles, but it's still a really talented defense. But I think they may have to be a little more creative, at least early in the year, as they kind of, figure themselves out. And so I think those linebackers are going to be the strength. That's what Tennessee's got to handle.
No doubt. There's been a trend. The Vols have increasingly gotten better I say that lightly, in the run game against Georgia. Is this the year they take that step and somewhat control the game and set themselves up better to where they're able to throw the ball in the red zone? They're able to throw a passing touchdown because the run game cracking. What was it last year? 152 yards. The year before that, 130 with 75 on the opening play. Like, this has to be an emphasis this week, considering how physical the Vols offensive line has been against his first two opponents.
Will, how about Ramon's research and all of his rushing numbers, man? The dude is locked in
Dang
and
good.
ready to go on a Saturday.
Broadcast professional, Ramon Foster.
I mean, it's unbelievable. I think when you look at this, Ramon, your point's well made. And I think what happened last year, I think Tennessee getting into two tight end stuff really helped them. I think they may have gotten out of that a little bit too much last year, particularly in the second half. I wonder if they stay in more two tight ends and what that looks like tomorrow. I think the schematics of this for Tennessee offensively is going to be interesting because I think they were more successful running the ball out of the two tight end stuff, which they were in a lot on that opening drive last year, which was their best drive of the game. I think Kitzelman had 3 touches on that drive. So do they stay in that? Do they feel like offensive line-wise they're better, that they can run the football in their normal, normal setup with 3 wide receivers? I don't know. I think you may see them in some two tights. As for the red zone, hey man, that comes back to quarterback play. Quarterback's got to make a play. I think that's one of the encouraging things you've seen out of Joey Aguilar for 2 weeks is he's made a play, particularly in the tight area of the field. He did it twice against Syracuse. He made a couple of plays. That was a nice fade he threw to Brazel for a touchdown. I know the coverage wasn't much, but the ball placement was good there. If you're going to score in the red zone, you have to make a play. And you go back again to, I'll use the opening drive a year ago. What happened when he got down, tight near the red zone? Nico had a scramble. He had a run on third down that moved the sticks. It moved him inside the 10, I think. So your quarterback in that area has to be able to make a play. That's what Tennessee has to have out of Joey Aguilar. He's got to take care of the football. He's got to make some plays in the middle of the field, but he's got to be really good when they get into that tight area down in the red zone.
Brent Hubbs of AllQuest, our guest this morning on Ramon and Will. Brent, on the injury front, what are you hearing about Jackson Moy or Tyree Weathersby and their status to go tomorrow?
I think Weathersby is going to go. I think it's what it certainly feels like. I think Jackson Moy is going to do everything he can to go, and I say that based on what I saw in the Syracuse game. He went in and out of the injury tent a couple of times and tried different wraps and tried different things to see if he could handle the pain of whatever he's dealing with the arm issue, and he just couldn't do it. I think he is going to try everything he can. Now, can he be effective? Can he get through warm-ups, somewhat pain-free and think he can be able to play? I don't know. We'll see. I mean, they may end up ruling him out tonight. I would be surprised if that's the direction that the injury report goes. But I think Moy's going to do everything he can to try to play in this game. He's told people that his plan was to play, but he's been limited this week. So I think that's truly not a coach speak. I truly think that's going to be a game-time decision with Jackson Moy.
And then, Brent, with David Sanders at right tackle and this just kind of ongoing situation that still is unresolved, is it a foregone conclusion that if he's available, he starts? I mean, how likely is it that you think we see David Sanders on the field tomorrow against Georgia?
I don't know that he's going to be cleared to play. I would lean towards him more likely not cleared to play than cleared to play, based on just my feeling of kind of the vibe this week. But we'll see. I mean, obviously he's not been ruled out. I think if he is cleared to play, I don't think you start him. And here's my rationale. I don't think he's practiced enough. If he were a 3-year veteran who had 15 starts under his belt and he missed most of the week of practice, you would say, okay, plug him in there and go. I'm not sure that how ready he is to play if you clear him to play on Friday or today or tomorrow morning. And he's been limited to, he's done more on the practice field this week than he has last week or since the injury occurred the week of the Syracuse game. But he's still not been out there taking every snap with the first team. And I don't know if he's ready to play if he goes through a week where he doesn't do that, given the fact that he's such a young player, Ramon. I think it's different if you're a veteran and we see it all the time in the NFL. We see it in college, right? Guys like he goes all week and doesn't practice, and then he plays on Saturday or he plays on Sunday. And why does he do that? Well, he's been in the system 2 or 3 years. He's played 2 or 3 years. Here's a guy who's never played a snap of college football. Can he go with a light workload week and then go out and play against a team of this caliber? I don't know. First of all, he's got to get cleared to play, and I'm at the point now where, and this is not trying to be funny or anything, but you got to see him out there dressed because, you felt like he was going to play against Syracuse and it was a late scratch. Certainly there was a vibe last week that he would be back. We talked about how many reps you get him or what do you do, and then all of a sudden you find out Friday afternoon, Saturday morning, doesn't look like he's going to play again, and he's a scratch there. So all of it is a moo point, as Joey Tribbiani said in the episode of Friends, until we see David Sanders in a uniform ready to go.
Brent, it feels like against lesser opponents, Joey Aguilar's heart rate is pretty steady in that he has got a deep ball to him. And now, granted, Syracuse is out here running wind sprints after barely beating UConn, so maybe they're not as much of a strong opposition as we thought. We don't know. Right, exactly. How ready is Joey Aguilar to, though, continue looking like that against Georgia? Because the way Georgia has played Tennessee, Brent, you and I both know it's been, hey, we're going to take away the run and trust our DBs on islands. They're going to be handsy and physical and take away the deep passing game. Do you see Tennessee trying to emphasize and trying to finally hit on some of these explosive pass plays against a Georgia defense that has kept them from having a passing touchdown in the last 3 meetings between these two teams?
Well, you got to win at the line of scrimmage. You got to win press. You got to win press coverage. You got to read the coverage. You got to be on the same page with your quarterback, and that's. I think that's on the receivers as much as it is on the quarterback to make those plays. You're asking about Joey's heart rate. We're going to find out. You hope that it's where it is, but he's going to feel something Saturday pregame. He's going to feel something Saturday when he comes running on the field that he's never experienced before. So he's got to get himself calmed down. Now you're hoping 24 years of age will do that, and that will allow him to be that way. And you want to get him settled in as quickly as you can. And you're hoping that you follow the trend that's been the last 4 years. And Tennessee's opening script has worked very well. They have scored, they've scored a touchdown on each of their opening drives on each of the last 4 games. So can they come out? Can he get settled in and play quickly and get into the flow of the game? At 24 years of age, you would certainly hope that he would be able to, particularly at home. The flip side, I think Georgia's asking the same question about Gunnar Stockton. So we'll see which one of these quarterbacks' blood pressure stays at Ramon Foster level on Saturday when they get out there and get on the field.
I had an appointment yesterday, Hubs, just so you know it's real good. Okay, it's real good.
I'm not surprised. You're stressed. You have no stress in your life. You're good,
yeah, right. I got a 17-year-old and a 13-year-old. Come on, man.
You ought to be on some pills, man.
Listen.
Watching a game in London with you, Tennessee A&M, a couple years ago. No, I've seen that heart rate go up during a Tennessee football game.
Hey, here's my thing about, so we're going to do the pregame tomorrow.
Yeah.
And Swain is going to pace the last 30. Swain will stand up for the last 30 minutes of the show. He will. He'll start rocking back and forth and pacing. He's all over the place. Ramon will sit there and hit those big old hands will start, and he'll rub from the top of his thighs to the top of his knees. And that'll be Ramon for 30 minutes. And I'm over here going, what's the big deal, guys? Let's get to the show, right? Because I've never played. I don't have any idea what they're experiencing. But it's so funny because Swain is a swayer. He's a pacer, kind of rocking back and forth. And Ramon, he looks like he's trying to rub paint off his hands is what he's doing. That's what Ramon does for pregame. It'll be so fun. It'll be so much fun.
You don't know me.
So accurate.
I swear I'm doing it now. I was rubbing my thighs and knees just now.
Yeah, that's
fantastic.
You're thinking about it already.
I am, man. Cool little story, man. I guess a point to be made, man. Drew Beam, he said he was driving home. He was listening to 3HL yesterday. 3HL, Ron Slay and Brent, I was about to say Brent Hubs, Brent Daughter and Don Davenport. And they asked me about the game, and Drew Beam was listening. He inboxed me on Instagram. Was like, man, you guys got me hype right now talking about this game. He was just like, man, Joey and Hype are going to take this home. I was just like, man, he just like me. It's on us to get the people going, Hubs.
Well, I mean, you're going to always have the people going, and we know what Slay does. So I'm not worried about the Tennessee fans ready to go in this game. This one will be a blast. The weather's going to be great. I mean, it will be revved up. And if Tennessee could do what they did a year ago in Athens, Georgia, that's jump out to a 10-0 lead. That place will come unhinged tomorrow, because it's already going to be teetering on that before kickoff. It would come unhinged if Tennessee got out of the gate. So the fans will be there, will do their part. Tennessee's got to get settled in and play the football game. And here's the other reason why I think Tennessee fans have some confidence, and it's not the score of the Austin Peay game, and it's not that, but it's Tennessee has gotten better playing Georgia. They played them the best a year ago that they played them in this series. And the head coach doesn't get tight. The head coach is different this week than he is last week. The head coach last week was not a very happy camper. And those games are not at the top of Josh Heupel's wish list. He doesn't, he understands them, and you got to go get better, and you got to use it the right way. And he tried to do that certainly in the second half, playing all of his young people. But this week, this head coach, the competitiveness in him, he relishes playing in these types of games. So he doesn't get tight. I don't think his football team will play tight tomorrow. Will it be enough? I don't know. But what I've seen out of him in 4 years is the bigger the game, the looser he is in the moment with his football team. And I think Tennessee will play pretty free tomorrow.
That's amazing.
Brent, if you guys were sending a text message of all of the people that are visiting Knoxville this week, it'd be one of those where you have to hit the 3 dots at the bottom just to say click for more. Unbelievable list of recruits that are going to be in town for this game. Some 2027 elite guys, of course, some 2026 guys as well. If you're picking one headline, Brent, of the recruiting weekend, what is the biggest thing you think Tennessee wants to accomplish, or maybe the biggest name they're trying to get in orange this week?
Well, I think what you're looking at is what they're getting done in the state of Tennessee this week for the future, for the 27 class and the 28 class. And it starts with Gabe Georges, the running back from Baylor, is where you start. I think that is, I think when you look at this list overall, now obviously having Cooper Witten in town's a big deal.
Right.
He's a 5-star linebacker who's a legacy guy. But I think where Tennessee's done a really good job recruiting, and they've done a good job consistently, is in the state of Tennessee. And getting a guy like Lawrence Britt from Memphis in town is a big deal. And you look what they're bringing to town across the state of Tennessee in the 27 and 28 class. I think it's really important, and I think that's a good deal. There's some Georgia kids coming, and heck, there's kids from all over the country coming. It's certainly a who's who list, but I think when you look, it's what they're continuing to do in the state of Tennessee first and foremost that stands out to me about what's coming to town. And listen, if you can't get them here for this one, they're going to have a hard time recruiting, right? You're supposed to be here for this one, and certainly everybody in the South wants to try to get to this game, and there's going to be a bunch of them here, and not just in football. I mean, you got 2 top 50 players in basketball coming in for official visits. Kim Caldwell's using it to recruit, 3 or 4 players this weekend as well. Baseball's going to have some in there. I mean, the other sports understand, like, hey, time to make some hay. That environment, we want to show that off to our prospects in our sports as well. So it'll be crowded on the sideline pregame with a lot of good-looking players down there in a lot of sports.
We'll have to ask Austin Price which Tennessee golf recruits are in town as well for this weekend. I say that seriously, though.
He would know.
Absolutely
He would certainly know. That's for sure.
Speaking of the VolQuest team, it's a big game and a big weekend, Brent. So we have our first question of the football season from Grant R. in Blount County, who writes in and says, how does the noise at Neyland Stadium compare to Barney Coastal Landed cymbals that he got from Cymbal City in Chicago? I probably butchered that pronunciation, but it's okay.
It is more of a it's more of a consistent, loud roar in Neyland Stadium than it was Barney trying to get everybody's attention when the mayor wanted to speak with those cymbals from Cymbal City. So it will be loud. It'll be, again, I mean, this is what you want. I mean, this is college football in its essence. And early season, this is exactly what you're looking for. So this one should be everything you hope for and more. And Tennessee's got to go play well. They've got to play well for 60 minutes. And Kirby Smart's telling his team, hey, nobody believes in you, and we're going to go out there and prove everybody who we are. And, I mean, they'll be ready to run through a wall. Tennessee will be ready to run through a wall. And, you know, Ramon, after those first couple plays, you just got to settle in and play the game. And you're hoping Tennessee has enough maturity on offense to settle in and play. And you're hoping that Tennessee's defense can make Gunnar Stockton really uncomfortable and not get settled in.
Got a comment also from Ron from Nashville.
Ron S.
Ron S. He says, you damn right you know what I'm going to do, Hubs. I'm unhinged right now.
Well, let's be real honest here. When is he not unhinged? Okay? We're always teetering on the level of unhinged if you're Ron Slade.
That's right.
We're right there. But, I mean, listen, my concern with Ron is that he peaked too early this week. And then I started thinking about it, and I said there's no such thing. So, right. I mean, he can peak every day, and he'll be ready to go Saturday, and it'll be a blast. Yeah, and this is what it's supposed to be about. And this is, here's the thing. If you win it, you're going to celebrate like crazy. If you don't win it, there'll be disappointment. But you go line up and play again because, as we've learned, one loss doesn't end the season. I mean, that'll be the message for the loser tomorrow is that your season is not over. But, boy, if you can find a way to win it, you set yourself up moving forward the way that you want to be and where you want to be. And so you got them at home. They feel like they're in a little bit of a transition, that they're still growing as a team. Georgia is. You hope that works to your advantage, and you feel like you go into this game with some confidence because of the way you played on offense. Now you're concerned about your defensive depth, particularly in the defensive interior, and you know what they're going to try to do to you. You feel like your plan's good. And, hey, man, at this point, you just, you load it up and go play because the hay's in the barn. You are who you are. They are who they are. And let's go see what happens.
The lesson of the morning is you have to first be hinged to ever be unhinged. Brent Hubbs of VolQuest joins us every Friday at 7:20. Vol Network coverage at noon right here on the Zone. Brent, enjoy it tomorrow. Looking forward to listening. Appreciate the time.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Hubbs.
Yes, sir. Brent Hubbs of VolQuest joining us this morning, presented by our friends at Ascend Federal Credit Union, your financial partner for every stage of life. Coming up, we did this last week, and it worked. Mississippi State pulled off an upset.
Yeah, they did.
Who is most likely to pull off an upset in this football weekend? That's next.
It's Ramon Foster for Jewel Roofing and Exteriors, man. A family-owned Middle Tennessee company that's been serving from Clarksville to Murfreesboro for over 25 years, man. I know what you're also thinking, too. How can I afford this, man? Well, I'm here to tell you this. One, you can trust Jewel Roofing simply because they're just good. They're honest, they're upfront about a lot of stuff, but they will also provide clear estimates with no surprise fees. And they also offer other flexible financing options, too, so you can get the roof work you need without a delay. Builders and homeowners trust them, man, and you can too. And this is why they're focused on building relationships and earning trust through referrals. Never through the high-pressure tactics, man, door knocking and storm chasing. Heck, we had somebody in our neighborhood earlier this week trying to do the exact same thing, man. For a roofer you can count on, though, call 615-868-9999 or go to jewelroofing.com. That's jewelroofing with 2 L's.com.
Hey, it's Will Bowling. If you've been listening to the show the past few weeks, you know about my new obsession, and I'm here to tell you, I loaded up again yesterday. We restocked. We were ready to watch some football last night. The Daisy French onion dip, the Daisy ranch dips, fantastic. It is a great football snack this time of year. You get the dips, you put them out on the table, and then you just fill up bowls, whether it's chips, whether it's veggies, whether it's wings. That's what I was doing last night. The wings dipped in this Daisy ranch dip and Daisy French onion dip. It's got a little bit of thickness to it, the consistency of it, which I prefer. So if you like that kind of thick sauce, the dip that just takes your tailgate food to another level, you need to check this stuff out. Daisy French onion dip, as delicious as a homemade dip, and it's made with real herbs and spices, plus other ingredients you'd find in your own kitchen. So do what I did and check it out. Try it for your tailgate, for your watch party this weekend. That's Daisy French Onion Dip, Daisy Ranch Dip. Give it a try at a local grocery store near you. Ramona Will is fueled by Scooters Coffee on 104.5 The Zone. If you need something to get you on I-40 to head to Knoxville tomorrow morning, maybe you're waking up early. That way you can get there for college game day. You can get there to tailgates. The Ramona and Will podcast is your best friend. Tons of Tennessee, Georgia talk this morning. Tons of Tennessee, Georgia analysis throughout the week. Head of the podcast channel. If you miss any of it, if you got work starting at 8, we forgive you. Mm-hmm. But Ramona Will, wherever you download podcasts, hit the subscribe button, take us wherever you go, and that drive will go like that as you get up over the Cumberland Plateau and down on the other side of the Smoky Mountain foothills. Ramon, who is pulling off an upset in the football weekend?
I'm tired of running from it, Will. I mean, we do this job here, and we got to be out here and say what we feel, what we see, and how it's going to be. I was a poet and didn't know it. What I'm getting to is this. There's no reason to run away from this Georgia game. We understand what Georgia is. Here's what we also know. We also understand that the Vols have slowly closed that gap in between what Georgia is and versus what the Vols are going to be. The recruits have gotten better. The gap of Georgia just having all the perennial 5-stars has slowly dispersed. That's what we're dealing with right now. They got to come into Neyland, but here's the other side of it too for me. Offensively, they have the physicality that Georgia has. Defensively, they have guys that can put in rotation. Albeit the depth isn't as deep as you want it to be going into this.
Isn't for anybody, right?
But the pace of this game can set Georgia back. Considering the rules of if they're going to drop to the ground, they got to do it before the ball is spotted. That plays a part into it. The Vols have to be cleaner and stuff that I felt like was very self-inflicted last year, where you had Carson Beck running for umpteenth yards, extending,
scrambling. Creating, right.
You also had penalties that the Vols got that Georgia did not get. We've seen people mention, home field advantage don't matter. Yeah, it does, because Georgia had it last year in Athens. It does matter. It's a 3:30 game. The crowd will be unhinged, but more than anything, you got a quarterback that's fearless in how he plays going against his team. Sometimes being an idiot goes in your favor. Not wearing your seatbelt for people that have accidents sometimes and they survive, it's probably because they were just bouncing around like the Chunky was in Savage's car. Like, these are the things that Joey Aguilar has to face going into it. The absence of him not having an understanding of what Georgia is, I think, plays to his advantage. You got guys that have played in these types of games lightly that have to face them. I got the Vols for the upset this weekend, period.
I like it. Would be quite the upset.
Georgia got just as many questions as we do. That's the issue going into this one.
They have a lot of questions. They have a lot of questions.
They do.
For sure. For sure. And this is the Saturday of consequence where you get a lot of those answers. We're going to talk about our keys to Tennessee, Georgia coming up here in 10 minutes, so I won't give all of both of ours away, but I like your confidence. I hope you're right.
I'm telling you.
Georgia Tech, Clemson, where I see an upset this weekend. I think Georgia Tech beats Clemson. I had way too much faith in Clemson getting back to the best versions of themselves this offseason. I'll raise my hand and say I got duped by the returning production, by the receivers, by Cade Klubnik taking a next step. Cade Klubnik has not taken that step yet.
Yeah.
He does not look like the quarterback that I thought he would. Now, second half against Troy, he was good, but the fact that we have to use that as a qualifying statement means that things are not going well in Clemson, South Carolina to start the season. I'm interested in Haynes King's health. They got a freshman backup there at quarterback that they feel like is the next dude that Brent Key is very high on. And we'll talk about this matchup a lot more with Stephen Godfrey coming up in hour 4. But I know the identity of Georgia Tech. I have no idea who Clemson is as a program. I know that they are a collection of experienced and talented individuals that have not yet come together and formed a team that really scares me. The Yellow Jackets are yet to allow a sack this season, and they have rushed 7.2 yards per carry in their run game. Is Clemson's front seven good enough to correct some of the mistakes they made in fitting the run against LSU? Or is that just their problem? They don't fit the run well, and they are not a great run defense. I don't know the answer to that yet. I think LSU could just be a really good run offense, but LSU just sleptwalked against Louisiana Tech last weekend, a game that we've not really talked about, and it just kind of happened in darkness in Death Valley. Tigers are filled with NFL prospects. I just need to see it. I don't think we're going to see it on Saturday. I think Georgia Tech upsets Clemson. I think they're going to do it at home at 11 a.m. in Atlanta, and I think Brent Key's Georgia Tech team is a legitimate college football playoff contender in the year of our Lord 2025. What a concept.
I like that.
What a sentence. Yeah. I think they're legit. And I think Haynes King, if he's healthy, is enough for that team to win on Saturday.
With you. Yeah, especially with what they're capable of doing. Yeah, absolutely. I like them. Liking them.
I'm not going to pick the Vandy upset over South Carolina. I think it's a really good game. I think it's a classic. I think it's a game that's decided by a late Carolina field goal or touchdown within the final 3 or 4 minutes. Yeah. I think that game is decided around the 2-minute timeout, because I just don't think South Carolina has the playmakers on the perimeter to really meet their ceiling. Yeah. And I still have major questions about offensive coordinator Mike Shula and the kind of game that he has been calling so far. Again, this time of year, teams start to click, or teams start to just prove that maybe they'll never come together in the way that we thought they could to meet their ceiling. Big prove-it game for South Carolina. Are you a real contender in the SEC? Because they don't look like any elite teams in the SEC. right now.
No.
I mean, LSU looks like the best team in the conference, but as bad as Clemson was against Troy, ugh.
Yeah. Oh, my.
The transitive property is not doing very kind things to anybody at this point. Vandy looks great. Where does Vandy fall in the hierarchy of the SEC? Are they a contender in the top 15 to 20 teams of college football? I'm still skeptical, but this is a major opportunity for them to prove it. I think they're still a 6 or 7 win team. We'll see. Could you get up at 8 and 9 wins territory? You could with a win on Saturday against South Carolina. 615-737-1045. Ramon Foster's key to beating Georgia. Biggest thing the Vols got to do tomorrow. We'll talk about it next. Your season, your shot. The NFL season is rolling, and every touchdown can bring you closer to a payout with DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. From first touchdown scorer to anytime TD props, for the thrill of live in-game betting, every snap is loaded with opportunity. The college slate tomorrow, the pro slate on Sunday. You've got so many options to enhance the fun at DraftKings Sportsbook. New customers, this one's for you. Bet just $5 and get $200 in bonus bets instantly. Plus, score over $200 off NFL Sunday Ticket from YouTube and YouTube TV. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app. Use code THEZONE. That's code THEZONE to get $200 in bonus bets instantly when you place your first $5 bet. Plus, over $200 off NFL Sunday Ticket from YouTube and YouTube TV. In partnership with DraftKings, the crown is yours. If you or somebody you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call or text the Tennessee Red Line, 1-800-889-9789. 21 plus, Tennessee only. Eligibility restrictions apply. Bonus bets expire 7 days after issuance. See sportsbook.draftkings.com/promos. NFL Sunday Ticket offer for new subscribers only and auto renews until canceled. Digital games and commercial use excluded. Restrictions apply. Additional NFL Sunday Ticket terms at youtube.com/go/NFL Sunday Ticket/terms. Limited time offer.
It is 8:02, Good Friday morning, live from the 104.5 The Zone Studios. I'm Justin Hawkins. The Tennessee Titans home opener versus the LA Rams coming up this Sunday with kickoff at 12 p.m. at Nissan Stadium. Right tackle J.C. Latham told reporters after practice yesterday that he would not play against the Rams on Sunday as he deals with a hip injury. Quandre Diggs, T'Vondre Sweat, and Khalil Mullings also missed practice for the second day in a row. And L'Jarius Sneed, Kevin Winston Jr., and Arden Key were all limited once again. Week 2 of the NFL season kicked off last night as the Green Bay Packers shut down the Washington Commanders 27-18. 2 injuries occurred last night. Packers wide receiver Jaden Reed suffered a clavicle fracture and will head to injured reserve for an expected 6 to 8 weeks. And Commanders running back Austin Eckler is believed to have suffered a season-ending torn Achilles injury pending an MRI. Number 15 Tennessee Vols take on number 6 Georgia Bulldogs in Knoxville at Neyland Stadium with kickoff set for 2:30 p.m. Central Time. You can hear Mike Keith and Ramon Foster on the call right here on 104.5 The Zone. Coverage begins at 12. Unranked Vanderbilt travels to Columbia for a 6:45 p.m. kickoff to face 11-ranked South Carolina on SEC Network. And Nashville SC returns to the pitch tomorrow night in Cincinnati for a pivotal Eastern Conference matchup against FC Cincinnati. With a win tomorrow night and a New York Red Bulls loss or tie, Nashville can clinch their 5th MLS playoff berth in their 6th MLS season. First kick is at 6:30 p.m. and you can hear the game on the 104.5 The Zone app. For all your foundation repair and waterproofing needs, you've got to go to USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Titans and Vols. This is 104.5 The Zone.
A very good Friday morning to you, Nashville. This is Ramona Will, fueled by Scooter's Coffee. Got the French vanilla blend going this morning. We got Ron Slay in 15 minutes. Tate Matthews previewing the high school football Friday at 9. Stephen Godfrey's going to be here in studio at 9:20. So much still to get into over the final 2 hours of this morning's show. You can call in at 615-737-1045. A tweet from Admiral Schofield this morning, Ramon Foster, says, at Neyland Stadium, they said you don't get loud enough, bro. Oh. They said they ain't worried about your noise. They said you aren't who you are. It's picture Draymond Green hyping up Kevin Durant. And I took that personally.
It's gonna be toxic.
Noon tomorrow when Vol Network coverage begins for Tennessee and Georgia. You will, of course, hear Ramon Foster with Voice of the Vols, Mike Keith, with Brent Hubbs, with Jason Swain, Larry Stone, good friends Philip Noel and Brad Willis, bringing all of the dulcet tones of that crew to you. What's got to happen tomorrow, Ramon? What is the number one key on your list of the Tennessee? Why are you looking at me sideways? What happened?
This little job that I have doing Vol Network, I got a list of guests who's supposed to be there, and one particular person to reach out to me, I'm going to have to call them in a minute. Okay, I'll just hold on to it later.
Tune in tomorrow to the Vol Network to find out who will be joining Ramon Foster.
I was just like, who the heck is that guy? I know that guy. Okay, but anyway, it's going to be, star-studded is what I'm telling you. It's going to be a hot one in Knoxville, man.
Y'all will be more star-studded than College Game Day.
Golly. Okay.
Which Candace Parker, game day picker.
She is a game day picker. We live for Savage. He didn't get it. I get it. Candace recently in, too. She's got a jersey retired in L.A. and Chicago.
GOAT.
Big Candace.
GOAT.
Yes. But this game, man, it's going to have to be real simple for the Vols. The advantage. I actually do like the Vols offensive line going into this one. I like what Jesse Perry is. I think if you put David Sanders Jr. and you give Kirby Smart motivation, to be quite honest with you. First-time freshman going out there. You want to attack the freshman. You want to attack rookie quarterbacks. This is how the game goes. I don't care how caliber of a player you are. If you put them in, then they become a target. They become the red dot is what they become to opposing defenses because that's Kirby's specialty. I look at this group up front and I say this. They're together in the combo blocks. Their ability to move and get in space is good. I know Georgia's going to run well to the sideline. They're going to have to send extra, I feel like, with the way the Vols are employing the run game. Pulling from left, pulling from right, pulling from tackle, pulling from guard. Like, it has been something to watch. I trust that system going into this game. And I've said this way more than I trust the previous two offensive lines. I look at this group and say they can move people better than I felt like they would coming into the season so far. I think that is the X factor going into it. Joey's ability to not know the situation too adds a little element of surprise to it also.
To me, I think the team that wins more matchups on the perimeter wins the game. Not often I go into a game and look beyond the line of scrimmage and the lines, but I think for these two teams in particular, Ramon, I don't see a world where Tennessee wins and doesn't hit on some explosive pass plays because they don't have, I think, enough of a physical advantage up front to just knock Georgia off the ball and be predictable and better. I think Tennessee's offensive line is significantly improved potentially from last season when they're at their best. They're going to have to be at their best in this game. I'm not discounting the importance of the 5 up front, but to me, that is where Tennessee has struggled against Georgia, is throwing the football downfield. And at ESPN.com this morning, there's a piece about what will Tennessee and Georgia need from their new starting quarterbacks. And the number in here that is startling is that Tennessee has not had a 200-yard passer in each of the last 3 seasons against Georgia. They're going to have to tomorrow. And that may seem like a low bar against Georgia defensive backs in that front. It's not. Tennessee has got to hit on some explosive pass plays. And in the same sense, they've got to tackle Zachariah Branch when he's given opportunities in space, and Noah Thomas when they try to go over the top. I see Georgia offensively trying to go at Ty Redmond, the Tennessee freshman corner. I think Ty Redmond's up for the challenge. I don't think he's going to get picked on in the way that they want to today as they draw things up. I've been really impressed by him, Ramon, early. But I think whichever team wins more of those one-on-ones, receiver versus DB in the perimeter, I think ultimately wins the game.
I agree with you there. And when it comes down to Zachariah Branch, too, it's not a matter of him catching the football. It's okay with him catching them. It is the yards after that you must stop.
100%.
You have to get him down on the ground. You got to be, I'm talking about everybody in vicinity of him have to hit him in these moments. I'll say this, too. The same goes for Gunnar Stockton. He's going to watch the tape and say, we got some escapability in this Tennessee defense right here. They're probably going to try to drop the Vols back in pass coverage and have it to where they can extend drive slowly. I view this game for Georgia, considering they got offensive line issues too, as a death by 1,000 paper cuts almost in a sense. They want to bleed this because the depth on the Vols isn't there also. So if you can keep them on the field, I see Georgia trying to go slow and methodical. That's where they have to be good up front, and Tim Banks and his defense being able to send blitzes, not just to sack the quarterback, but to also stop the run. When you got them backed up, Georgia does have the Nate Frazier, the running back. He can get outside the pocket and beat you to a corner. They have to get him down. They got to cut his legs down. Everybody's got to be man to a man and seeing the responsibility. I'm not sure if Tim Banks is going to employ somebody to spy or watch Gunnar Stockton, but he can't be the reason the same way that, who was it, that Ole Miss did it a few years back, or DJ Lag or whoever else has found their ways outside of this defense.
Really, what you are hoping to do is what Ole Miss did to Georgia last year. When Ole Miss just whipped Georgia on both sides of the ball up front. That is not something we often say about Georgia teams. And more so, it was the Ole Miss defensive line and front seven that just got after Carson Beck. That was a rainy game. It was a slippery field. It was a muddy, dirty game. I don't think Tennessee wants to play that kind of game. I don't think Tennessee can beat Georgia in a street fight with this team. They were more well-equipped to do that last year. With this team, though, on defense, finding that kind of success and push against the Georgia run game, I still don't think this is a normal Georgia running game. But Nick Chubb is not walking through that door. There's no Todd Gurley. Like, Nate Frazier is a good football player. But Georgia being 15th in the SEC in rushing last year, I don't think that just gets fixed overnight. I think it's the explosive pass plays that worry you with when Gunnar Stockton evades the pocket and runs. Can another mobile quarterback give Tennessee's defense trouble? I don't know. We're going to find out. But I worry a little bit about Tennessee's defensive front, Ramon, and what they've shown us through 2 games. Maybe Rodney Garner has those guys ready to play for this big one, but if Tennessee was healthier up front on defense, I would feel a lot better at this matchup. But missing David Hobbs and at the very least not having Jackson Moore 100% hurts you in this matchup.
I'm hoping Jackson Moore pulls through. it's going to be crucial. It has to be crucial for him in this game. Tyree Weathersby also, and I know Hubs and Austin both says you don't want Dominic Bailey, those guys playing 60+ snaps. Well,
right.
This
Bryson
is that game
Eason.
you do have. Him and Bryson Eason. This is the game that you do have to do that. And the other part of this for me is linebackers versus tight ends. Vols versus Georgia. Like Arian Carter and Jeremiah T-Lander, Elijah Herring, they have to be good this week in coverage. If you are in your zone, trust your guys up front to be able to chase down Gunnar Stockton instead of you getting baited and him hitting somebody over the middle of it. And the other part, like there has to be at some point in this game some statement of physicality.
Yeah, right. And Tennessee's a physical football team. I mean, Tennessee's physicality on defense earned them a bid to the college football playoff last year.
Yeah.
That can't decline this season with a lot of new faces. Mm-hmm. It's going to be a good game. Tennessee can absolutely win it. Tennessee can win it by a couple scores. Tennessee can win it close. I mean, anything is on the table tomorrow afternoon in Neyland Stadium. One thing we know for certain, though, is that place is going to be biblically loud.
Mm-hmm. And
biblically loud.
Penalties.
Commenter on YouTube says, we're running back university. Well, did those guys help you last year when you were 15th in the conference in rushing?
Oh, get him, Will.
What does Nick Chubb have to do with the fact that only one team, LSU, was worse than you at running the football last year? Georgia will not meet its goals this year if they are equally bad this year as last year at running the football. That's basic comprehension of just looking at the way things went for you last year.
Man,
you were too one-dimensional on offense.
Keep that same energy, man. I swear, like this, I'm going to leave it alone. I'm not playing. So let me stop. I'm not the one playing. So let me stop.
Coming up next, Ron Slay joins us, an early visit with televisions and 3HL's Ron Slay next.
Man, I saw two houses for sale. Same neighborhood, almost identical, but one had an Orchard sign and it sold for way more. So I asked my friends over at Orchard, why? The first house used a traditional agent. After weeks of price drops and frustrations, they settled for less than they had hoped. The second owner, they chose Orchard and got more. The local Orchard agent didn't just list the home, they marketed it also. They knew exactly which upgrades would attract serious buyers and brought in a pro to handle everything else. And even more, with Orchard's Move First, Sell Later program, the homeowners moved into their new home before the old home even hit the market. And they skipped all the hassles and all the showings too, the stuff that just gives you a headache, man. So never settle for less. Go get more with Orchard, the smarter, faster, hassle-free way to buy your new home, even before your old home sells. Start with a free home valuation at Orchard.com. Again, the website is Orchard.com. And make sure you tell them that Ramon sent you.
It's Will Bowling here. I want to tell you about my new obsession, and I tell you what, it was a great way to watch football last night. Put some wings in the air fryer, got some crispy broccoli going, and we were dipping. French onion dip, ranch dip. Daisy has got some outstanding stuff just in time for football season. It's my guilty pleasure this time of year, eating dips with chips, with wings, with veggies. All of it went perfectly with Daisy's new Daisy French onion dip, the Daisy ranch dip. I'm telling you, these are a game changer. The thickness to it is something you're going to love. I love a thick dip like this, and my goodness, it tastes homemade. Real herbs and spices, other ingredients you'd find in your own kitchen. So if you are eating in parking lots all around the South, maybe here in Nashville for some football this weekend or tonight for Friday Night Lights, make sure you grab some. Daisy French Onion Dip is at a grocery store near you. Go find it. That's Daisy French Onion Dip, Daisy Ranch Dip. You can go get it at a grocery store near you. Friday morning on Ramon and Will is fueled by Scooter's Coffee. Locally owned near you in Rivergate, Smyrna, Brentwood, White House, or Mount Juliet. We turned the show up to 11 in hour 3, a little bit earlier this morning, as Ron Slay of 3HL and the SEC Network joins us. Television's Ron Slay. He's got big TV commitments at his normal time, but that's all right. We've always got time to pencil in Ron Slay whenever Ron Slay can be penciled in to the program. What's going on? Good morning.
Man, what's happening, man? Me and my boy D-Season, Daniel son was just rapping, man. That's why we was a little late coming home. You feel me? Having a little conversation about some betting odds. That's all we doing, man. Just trying to figure out things, man.
DC.
Get things on the right level. That's all.
Yeah, which one is he? Daniel's son or Mr. Miyagi, man?
Oh, no. There's only one Mr. Miyagi. You know what I mean? Everybody
We
else
can compare some parlays.
Yeah. Okay.
Some hot slocks to some parslays.
Yeah. We got to understand it, man. That's all it is. You feel me? I got ETSU's finest James Wilson right here. It's bananas for me. I got 2 of them, though. You want one?
Ron Slay straight from PT this morning.
My bad, y'all. I forgot I was on the phone.
That's all right. Don't let us interrupt.
That's with James, dog. Anybody that knows James knows he's a degenerate, man.
He is a degenerate, man. And anybody that knows you know, if you call Ron Slay, you're gonna get like, hold on one second, I gotta.
You're just a fly on the wall.
Yeah, you
That's
are
right.
a fly on the wall to his conversation.
Right. That's okay.
Ask James, is he better from last week because ETSU got smacked around like that?
Dude, guess what he said when I first saw him? Man, y'all don't want to play us again.
I love that.
This dude is a fool, man.
That's fantastic.
He right. He right. We don't. We tired of paying to beat people up.
That's exactly what I said.
Slay, how we feeling about tomorrow?
Man, I'm going to be real, man. I heard Savage, man. Savage laid it all the way down. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And you got to put it in the, so people can understand in the relation of this Georgia roller coaster that we on. So when you look at it, man, you got to grow up. You feel me? When you get in there, sometimes you used to walk up to it and used to say, you know what, get on your tippy toes so they don't really know how tall you are and you can get on the ride. You know, but you still be scared, so you're like, no, I don't want to stand. I want to sit in front. I want to get back in the back. You know, man, where at least I'm in the middle where I can clutch somebody, something of that nature, you know what I'm saying? So this is the thing. This roller coaster of Georgia, we've been on it. We've ridden this roller coaster. We know the loops. We know the turns. We know it's going to be steady every single time. The speed going to be the same. The constant, consistent effort going to be there every single time. But the problem is we've grown up. So at some point, when you get up there to the ride, you go right past the little measuring stick. Like, what am I? That's funny. I used to be right there trying to see, that's funny, you little kids. You know, but then you say, you know what? I'm going up there to the front of the lane. I want to ride at the front. You know, give me the whole shebang. I mean, everything. The turns when you're coming down first, you got everybody in the back screaming. They want you to experience it first. But one thing you can't do when you get off the ride, you can't get off, Savage. Yeah. You got to stay on it.
Yeah, you do.
You know what I mean? Once you get in there, you buckle in, it's time to go ride. Yeah. It is what it is. We're looking for anybody. Pull that lever, man. Let us go. And that's where we at right now. We want to be in the front of the roller coaster, taking the ride. We know who it is. The big, scary monster, Kirby, when you go through the tunnel of fields. We ain't scared of that. Like, we got our eyes open, got our hands up in the air. We're ready to ride. And that's how Rocket Top coming. So you ask how I'm feeling, Will Lee? I'm at the front of the ride of the roller coaster. The Kirby Smart roller coaster. Yeah, that's what they always try to show that little interception by Peyton Manning that Kirby had. You know what they did in that game? They lost that game. They lost.
He went 0-4 against Tennessee as a player.
Come on, Will Lee. We ain't scared of the tunnel of fields of the Kirby Smart. Kirby Dumb. That's what we looking for. Nothing smart about this.
Come on, man. Come on, Savage. Some of this Kirby coaster. We ain't got no time for this Kirby coaster.
Well, and Slade, to your point, the Godfather doesn't have the same pull with the authorities like he did last year in Athens. Like, and this is where the home field advantage is significant. I mean, it is. It's more than just the noise of what you have going on pre-snap. It is the amount of whistles and calls that you're going to get. And you can ask Nick Saban in Alabama how many calls they got in 2022 when their streak ended to Tennessee, because that was a team that beat themselves. And Georgia is not immune to making those kinds of mistakes. And programs today, Slay, as you know, don't have the same level of depth of 5 stars that are just sitting there on the bench to just uphold the same standard when they have to come in for a snap or for a drive. Like, no one is immune to going on the road and beating themselves every now and then. And that includes Georgia, even though they don't do it very often.
No question. No, there's no question about it. And then you also got to ask yourself, man, when were you most successful? I thought when Tennessee was thriving the most is when you had a veteran guy like Hendon coming into the situation. We always used to say, man, Hendon is even keel. Like, Joe could mask it, but he was always going to mask it with a smile. Nico, you knew he was just young, and it was like, come on, man, like, give me a little bit more. I think what made us great with Hendon, like, you saw the emotion, you saw how bad he wanted it, but it never spilled over to his play to where it was able to affect him and make him make mistakes. You know what I'm saying? And him being able to bounce back after a mistake, he was totally different in that second year than he was that first year because of the experiences he went through. Now you got another guy that's 24 years old, and that's exactly what you expect for him. Yes, he's never been in this. I heard Brent Hubbs talking earlier. He's never been in this situation either, but you would much rather be at home experiencing it than on the road having to experience it in Athens. So we're going to see what Joey can do, man, and how he keep it even keel and what that offensive line can do to take all of the energy up off of them as far as, you know, being shaken or anything. We got a little Bulldog fan in here. He don't know what to do. Like, he's been so nervous. Dude, he's been so nervous. He ain't know whether to talk trash. He don't know whether to pat me on the back. He don't know whether to go back and forth or whatever. I mean, you ought to see the nervous energy of the smile that he got. Like, his hair ain't even right today. Like, it's weird energy from Georgia fans, and that's what I'm out here. I'm out here to accept all of this, Savage.
No doubt about it, man. But Savage, that's it too. I guess the weirdness of this matchup right now. Georgia, you got a few that's gonna bark and do their thing, and I don't mean that intended. Like barking, like they're gonna talk their trash. They're gonna be boastful about, because we as people that follow the SEC have said this for a long time. Georgia's got a hotbed of talent in the Atlanta era. Georgia in general. I'm talking about Rome all the way down to the bottom of the state, right? And that's what they thrive at. Kirby has had that component of it too. But the other side of Kirby, and most of these legacy coaches in college have had as of late, has been the veteran side of their roster. Like, their Gunnar Stockton is a junior, but Gunnar Stockton's never played in Knoxville. Nate Frazier hasn't started in Knoxville. He started against them in Athens last year. They got Zachariah Branch also, who hasn't played in the SEC, who's from USC, that's got to play in this. They got young offensive linemen and new offensive linemen that haven't gone in this environment too. Now, I'm sure Kirby's had it loud, and he's been cussing and fussing with his bullhorn all week long to prepare them for this moment and to pretty much tell them they ain't nothing. But, Savage, you've gone to Lexington and Rupp Arena, right? You've been in these environments where there is a shock value into being a newbie into this type of environment. What was it like for you, and how do you see this for these quarterbacks and these new players that's got to walk into Neyland with this experience? Because they play the same game too.
Absolutely.
I'm not going to act like other places. Like, why do we talk about Death Valley and Baton Rouge like this? Why do we talk about what Texas can be if it doesn't hit the same in Knoxville?
Yeah, you hit it on the head, Savage. It's all about, man, having that experience to be able to walk in there. I remember walking in Corrupt Marina my first year as a freshman and being able to be led by guys and shielded, kind of like what we said with the roller coaster, shielded by guys like Isaiah Victor, Tony Harris, Vincent Yarbrough, who had been there, Dale Baker, Charles Hathaway, C.J. Black, all of these guys, while they out there in front, man, I'm sitting there in warm-ups looking at all the banners like, golly, this is it, dog. This is what I used to see on TV, and getting enamored about that, man. And it was totally different walking into it my senior year. It was the reason I got a standing ovation coming off the floor, because I acted like I've been there. Like, this is different. And it's also different when you had the opportunity and experience the time to go in there and play. It's one thing to be sitting on the bench. It's another thing to be out there in the energy, in the feeling the magnitude of the game and knowing what it is and having them fans coming down your neck the way they're supposed to. So it's all relative depending on who you are, where you are in your time in college. And I think, man, like you hit it on the head, Savage, them sophomores and juniors, That might be 2 letters or 3 letters, whatever it may be. But have you had time on the field? That's the main thing. Because it's one thing to be standing there on the sideline knowing that you ain't got to go grab your helmet. It's another one trying to catch your breath on the bench, knowing that you got to go back in and go back out here in this battle. And you know these fans is on your neck. And it's totally different. It's totally different. The same thing you feel at home, that comfort level, that's the same energy you feel when you go on the road, except it just switches to anxiety. That's what it is, man. And that's why when you start fast, it bodes well for you because you got all the cards in your favor. And the only time that you have people that overcome stuff like that is when you got a veteran team, and you don't have a veteran team in this case.
When you
wise.
Yeah, no doubt about it. When you look at the guys in the secondary, man, Colton Hood has been it, man. Ty Redmond also. They got to go defend against that, but the rush up front plays a huge part in it too, man. I'm looking at those big boys, man, and saying at the end of the day, it still has to be a physical game. Do you see the Vols and what you've seen so far being able and capable of being physical against Georgia?
So this is what I believe, man. Out there, you can't let the competition get the best of you. You got to remember your keys. Understand that this ain't the time to go and make a superheroic play. If you stay base and do what you're supposed to do, the moment will come to you. That's what they got to understand. At home, you ain't got to chase the moment. The Colton Hood, those guys in the secondary, they got to understand, man, like, let me do what I'm supposed to do. Let me trust my keys. Let me trust the guys that get home up front. Let me trust it'll be a tip ball, and I'm supposed to have my eyes where they're supposed to be, not peeking in the backfield, waiting no branch to do a double move and me getting burnt down the sideline. None of that stuff. If you can do that, then everything will fall in order. So you got to continue to believe in who you are, what you are, and that Tim Banks will put you in the right position. That's why those guys are able to thrive. It ain't guys that's going out making heroic plays or anything. This guy's being steady. The reason outside of Jamal McCoy being gifted and talented athletically, like you have to be in the SEC, man, he's consistent. You know what I mean? It's a constant. Ricky Gibson can look over there at the other side and say, what is he doing different than I am? Nothing. That's what made him start to be steady. You started to see a constant effort and not giving up big plays. So you got to take a PI here and there, take that PI. That's okay. You know what I mean? But just don't be caught over and over making the same mistakes. That's where they get you.
Yeah.
Especially in big games.
Savage, halftime of this game, man, it's been announced, and it's near and dear to you. John Henderson will be honored at halftime, man. College Football Hall of Fame, man. What can you say about Big Joe, as you call him?
Man, I love it, man. Like, the flowers that this young man is getting, dog. Like, this big dog here, man, like, is one of the most humble that you'll run across. You know what I'm saying? Like, he actually had a switch that you could click and go on the field and watch him play and not really realize that that's the same guy you were sitting on the couch with talking to. You know what I'm saying? Like, the stuff that he's able to go out there and do, I'm so happy, man, that he's getting recognized. And a lot of times, man, you see guys come up from young. We always hear about the undervalued guys that kind of make it, the guys that 2 stars, 3 stars that, you know, our story, Savage, but the ones that have been chosen, they go out there and live it up, you know what I'm saying, and kind of reach their potential, dog, that's different as well. So, that, you know, man, I got to salute that. And I'm glad, man, you know, coming on the heels, we saw Al go into it. We saw Eric Berry last year go into it. Now you're seeing John Henderson, man, that's a different room that they get to walk in, man. So to know that he's from Tennessee, you know what I'm saying, and he reps it well, even though he don't live there no more. He still try to rep it, but it's good to see him get those flowers, man. I know he's super proud of it, you know what I mean, and he's gonna have a good time for sure.
Slate, what do you want to see for the Titans on Sunday? Shifting gears for our last couple minutes together, how do you think they can upset the LA Rams?
Man, first of all, I love it. I love the accountability that's been taken in the media. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's easy to put it out, you know what I mean, and let Callahan be the scapegoat. And he deserves some of it as well, if not more than the players. But when you as the players are out there 130-plus yards and penalties, dog, like, you got to take accountability. The execution, you know what I mean, the lining up, all of the things that they're supposed to do as pros that wasn't getting done, that's a problem. And you got to be able to go and fix that. So I love all of the ownership being put on them as well, and them saying, hey, that's our fault. we got to be way better than that. That's why I give them a big chance. Now, I don't know what it's going to be going forward, you know what I mean, outside of Latham being on the right edge or something like that, but I do know for one game, they can get it together and say, hey, man, we got to perform better than that. It's the first home game, you know what I mean, scratch what happened last week, and it's all on our shoulders. Go out there and do what we're supposed to do, because one thing, regardless of what players called, what players boggled, you get the opportunity to go out there and execute. And if you can whoop the man across from you, that's the best thing about football. If you can whoop the man across from you, you get the win, regardless if it was a dumb play, a great play, an excellent play, a stupid play. It don't matter. You have the mano a mano to say, you know what, let me whoop this dude in front of me. If I can get 10 others to whoop the person in front of them, we're going to whoop them for this play. And then guess what? We go back to the huddle and come back out and whoop them again. It's just like that. And I think that's right there. That's what I'm leaning on for this game against the Rams. I think they win.
Sound like you've been hanging around Jeffrey Simmons too much. Talking about whooping everybody, man. A DJ from Hustle and Flow. Come on, man.
I seen number 73 Savage, what he used to go out there
That's
do on
right.
that front line in them trenches. Here you talking about. I know what my dog gonna do. Savage for a reason.
Do the Titans make your parlay this weekend?
No, the Titans. Yeah, they do. They do make my parlay.
Okay.
They didn't make it last week. They did one of my NFL, but I never do my NFL parlay until Saturday night.
Oh, okay.
So yeah,
Just checking.
yeah. They didn't. I will. My parlay that hit in the NFL. I will let everybody know this. I was reading it out on 3HL. And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go on and hold this one. I don't want the people to get upset because I took Denver money line, no question about it. I knew they was losing that game. Now their points was high. I wasn't gonna play with them points, but anytime you got a guy that can take out your number one guy threat, that's come on, dog. Like what are we talking about? That's different.
Slay, do you have Vandy, South Carolina pick and a parlay this week?
I absolutely do. I took them. I moved their line up plus 7.5.
Okay.
It's one of my parlays, and the other one I got them winning money line.
Okay.
And there's no question about it because that left side of that line,
shaky.
Superman Cape is always looking at it. And here's what it's just time. It's just a time thing. And one thing about it, man, it ain't gonna be one person to try to bring Sellers down. They send the 2 or 3 of them at them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that line, man, I'm talking about you can go on and ball them up and play paper hoops with them outside the classroom or anything, because that's trash. I promise you that. That line ain't nothing. It ain't nothing. So I don't care how many elite guys you got out there on the outside or in the backfield or nothing. They don't get to do nothing once that ball snapped and they just laying on the ground.
Oh, yeah, that's ugly.
Fair. That's very fair. Ron Slade joins us on Fridays.
Let me go on and add, Nick Harbour is a hell of a talent, but Nick Harbour hands is like my feet.
Bad?
Fair.
Bad when that gout hit, Savage.
You could run a
Got down
4-2,
there.
but if you don't have the football in your hand, that doesn't do much for you, does it, on offense?
Dude, I'm telling you, man, they were so surprised. Look around. Go back and look at that bomb he caught. Look at the bench. They were so shocked when he caught that.
I know.
I'm telling you, like, he's a hell of a talent, though. If he started catching, prove me wrong.
I called one of his track meets in California when he was a senior in high school. I thought he would have been an incredible defensive player. I think they miscast him. I think if you put him at edge or at that Leo position, like how Tennessee uses him as an edge / kind of coverage linebacker, that guy'd be in the league for a decade minimum. But maybe he does.
Only thing about it, Will Lee, you got to like contact if you're going to play on that side.
That's very true.
There's a reason we play receiver, baby.
That's right. That's fair enough. Ron Slade joins us on Fridays here in the show a little early this morning. We'll see you on TV in the next hour. We'll pop it on in the studio here. And good to talk to you. Hope you get a win to watch tomorrow.
Oh, I ain't no hoping neither. I'll put all my hope in my suitcase and put it in the attic. I'm going up here with pure confidence. You hear me?
I love it.
That's
Go
my
Vols,
guy.
baby.
Go
I
Vols,
absolutely love it.
Savage.
Thank you, Slay.
Yeah.
All right.
There he is, Ron Slade.
He was going, boy. I love that one.
You can skip the extra cup of coffee and just mainline that.
Don't need it.
That's right.
Don't need it.
Coming up, we'll catch up on headlines this morning, and including the Titans working out a linebacker. According to a report that just dropped, we will tell you who that is and what you need to know coming up next.
Something awesome is coming to Genesis Diamonds next weekend, September 19th through the 21st. It's a 3-day designer engagement ring event showcasing the world's top 2 brands in bridal jewelry, Tacori and Verragio. Tacori from California and Verragio from New York, both flying in their entire lines, including all new rings for this special event. You can explore hundreds of exquisite American-made designer rings. Plus, Genesis will have special incentives, 0-interest financing, and up to $5,000 in instant savings. In addition to this, Genesis has expanded selection of GIA certified diamonds for this 3-day event. All shapes, all sizes, rock bottom prices. This is the best of the best. Every Tacori ring is handcrafted by master artisans with exceptional quality, and every Verragio ring is made by hand with unmatched attention to detail. These other brands that other jewelers only wish they could offer, but at Genesis, they have the entire Tacori and Verragio collections, and they'll be on display this next weekend. So don't miss the bridal jewelry event of the year, September 19th, 20th, and 21st at Genesis Diamonds. They're located in Green Hills and Cool Springs.
Ramona Will, fueled by Scooters Coffee on 104.5 The Zone. Coming up, lots more in hour number 4. Tate Matthews previews the high school football Friday night in 15 minutes. And Stephen Godfrey, as heard on the College Football Inquirer with Andy Staples and Ross Dellinger from Yahoo Sports, in studio at 9:20. Talking college football this morning. Ramon, the Titans are working out a linebacker, according to NFL reporter Aaron Wilson this morning. Titans are working out former Broncos and Lane College outside linebacker Andrew Farmer today.
Hey, shout out to Lane College. That's my grandmama's alone.
Really?
Yeah.
I've never heard of Lane College.
Jackson, Tennessee.
Okay.
Lane College.
Right.
Absolutely. It's HBCU too.
There you go.
Yes. Lane don't have that many people coming up out of there. Somebody recently that came out of Lane too. Side conversation, but
Kiffin?
Kiffin ain't going to Jackson, Tennessee. I know that much. Linebacker, that's somewhat surprising. Am I missing anything?
I believe
teams?
outside linebacker.
Outside linebacker.
Yeah, just looking for pass rushers.
But
hasn't played in the NFL since 2023.
Ooh, that's a time.
Limited experience.
Okay, well, yeah. Just trying to find a body that they can put out there. Again, I'm not sure if it's somebody that's missing on special teams. That's the first thing I think of when you mention outside linebacker types.
Sure.
Fascinating.
Yesterday, a member of the Cleveland Browns did something really dumb. So, death, taxes, and that sentence. Mary Kay Cabot, longtime Cleveland Browns reporter, writes, how hard is Ravens' Derrick Henry to get down? Browns safety Grant Delpit, quote, not hard. Good luck with that.
Just asking for it.
My brother in Christ. I don't know if that's the best strategy.
And maybe he thinks his run defense can bottle up Derrick Henry as quick as they need to. It takes a village to bring Derrick down.
It sure does.
Okay? He's been running harder than I've ever seen him run as of late. Well, I'll say this. I don't want to say ever. That's disrespectful to his Titan career.
Fair.
But he's been running harder than I thought he would. Like, I feel like with this team, he's showing a level of aggressiveness that we've kind of asked for often. It's like, Derek got to hit the hole. You got to go. Like, he's been downhill like crazy. You looking at Buffalo Bills game, those safeties, Delpit, Grant Delpit, they were making business decisions. They had angles on Derek.
Sure.
They could have shot for the legs and chose to go and get a reach around right there with him. Like, that's not something you want to do this week.
It's going to be interesting watching Titans-Rams on Sunday. If you missed it earlier this morning, J.C. Latham ruled himself out yesterday in the locker room. I imagine he'll be given a word from a couple people in the organization to say, hey, just maybe don't do that. Maybe wait until coach meets with the media Friday, but that's all right. Really interested to see how the Titans circumvent the disadvantage they have on the right side of their line, because L.A. has got dudes rushing the passer. One of them a former Vol and Byron Young, Jared Verse and Braden Fisk, kind of the big three that they have. I mean, they've got more, but those three are the ones that really, to me, stand out, Ramon. How do you think the Titans can make up for the disadvantage they have up front against the LA front seven?
It's getting the ball out. I put the challenge back on Coach Brian Callahan and his play caller. You can't just point at the play call sheet and just call plays. You got to have a method into what you're doing. 2nd and 6 needs to be a situation where you're trying to find yourself in 3rd and 1. It can't that's where he has to be until he gets a better flow of the game. And to your point, taking shots down the field. I think Cam and him, I don't want to say got exposed last week, but the rollouts that he's attempting, it seemed like teams, at least last week, the Denver Broncos were ready for it. You can't put them in harm's way that way, considering you're down a man. If it is running left and it is more running right, or pulling Peter Skoronski around to have space is something that he has to do. The quick outs have to be there. The linebackers down the seams have to be there for Coach Callahan. To me, this is a bigger challenge to Coach Callahan than it is for the personnel on the field.
Yeah, you got to move Cam around a little bit, I think, in this game. To me, that's where some of the adjustment begins. Can you move and manipulate the pocket to allow Cam to get on the run and create, which is where he is at his best? And does tempo change things a little bit? I still think this offense is at its best when Cam is in tempo and in rhythm. Mm-hmm. Now, you got to get the first down in order to feel like you can go with tempo and start to hit the hyperspeed a little bit. And the Titans didn't do that enough last week. But I still feel like that is an element where Cam can be a best version of himself is when this offense starts to move and play fast.
Yeah.
Whenever you talk to Cam Ward and you ask him, like, what does this offense need to do to improve and to set the tone? His answer is almost always, just play faster. They didn't get the luxury of playing fast because they couldn't get the first down enough against Denver.
Oh, and for him, too, throwing the football away, you got a punter that can boom it. All right, special teams has gotten a little bit better. He acknowledged that, too.
Yeah.
He's got to get the ball out either to his receivers or out of bounds. There's no ifs, ands, or buts going into it this week for him either. Has to. That is the growth component of him being a young guy that he's got to realize. We talked about Jordan Love earlier in the show and how he has those footballs where he'll miss. Well, what he'll also do is Jordan Love doesn't mind throwing the football out of bounds. He's throwing high and away is what he's doing in the vicinity of his wide receivers. That's something that Cam has to perfect in order for him to be better and give this team a chance too.
I'm watching deep balls to Elikiah Manor and Calvin Ridley this week. I think there are explosive pass plays to be had for the Titans if they can quickly get the ball out of Cam's hands. He has shown the ability to throw accurate passes when he has a stable footing and a clean pocket. I think you're going to see some explosive plays. I don't know if it's going to be enough to win the football game. I don't know if it's going to be enough to beat the Rams pass rush consistently. But I think there are plays to be made here against a secondary that is not as strong as the one you saw last week. And I think Calvin Ridley is going to be motivated to make up for mistakes he had in Denver.
That's true. It's almost like the wide receiver 2 or wide receiver 1 not getting his just due. In week 1, you expect that opposite reaction. I'm talking about first 3 plays, Calvin's got to get busy. He's got to catch a rhythm. He's got to get one with Cam Ward. I don't think they had a rhythm last week, he and Calvin Ridley.
No, they didn't. Vandy Chris on YouTube says, if you're asking if they can move the pocket, you haven't watched this staff the last 18 months. They can't. This is no different from last year. I don't agree with that. The offense that we watched in training camp is not the same offense as we saw last year, just schematically, in terms of the plays that they are calling and the things they are asking their quarterback to do. You just couldn't protect your quarterback enough in Denver to really show the new wrinkles that they've added. And I don't know if you're going to be able to this Sunday either, but there are different things this offense will do to set up Cam for success in the same way Shannon Dawson, Mario Cristobal, and Miami did last year. We just haven't seen it yet.
You hear Cam saying it.
Yeah.
He's asking for it. He's asking for pace and to move the pocket around. Like, he wants to create. It's going to be there. It has to be there for him.
For sure. And I mean, too, even like the screen that he threw to nobody at the end of the first half in Denver, like, that's the example of what they're doing. Like, that's an RPO where he's got the option to give that or to pull it and throw a screen. It's just that nobody was turning to track the ball. Like, they had 2 blocking 2 and a guy unblocked on the edge who might still be running at the end of that play.
Did he say who that mental error was on right there? Was it Chig that the ball was supposed to go to?
It's either Chig or Calvin. I don't know definitively.
How do you?
He didn't throw a player under the bus.
How, as a wide receiver, you know the ball is coming your way, you're not ready for the ball?
And when no one's guarding you.
Yeah.
The safety was coming down into the box and you had a wide open. Like, that's the kind of quick game stuff and movement that we're talking about. The RPOs, the pre-snap motions, there's more of that within this offense than there was last year.
Yeah.
You just got to actually have a receiver turn around and want to catch the ball when you run it. Yeah. That play is the difference between us talking about the game management stuff with Callahan at the end of the first half and us saying, like, wow, Joey Sly hit a 63-yard field goal. Good thing they were aggressive and went to chase points. Like, literally someone turning around to catch a wide open screen is the difference in discourse this week. And that comes back on coaching, too, because those guys got to know what their job is on any given play.
Yep.
And so that's not just putting everything on the player.
Nope.
Tate Matthews joins us. We'll talk some high school football next. Are you trapped in a high-rate mortgage watching your hard-earned money vanish every month? Stop. Right now at Loan Pronto, they are delivering the lowest mortgage rates in 3 years. Hey, it's Will Bowling. Loan Pronto's rate reduction home loan program is a streamlined, low-cost way to slash your house payments by hundreds of dollars a month. Lock in a fixed rate as low as 4.99% APR and close in as little as 2 weeks. No appraisal needed in most cases, and here's the kicker. You can skip your next 2 house payments entirely. Don't wait. Loan Pronto is amazing. Rates this low won't last. Call Loan Pronto now for your free, no-obligation quote. Just imagine, lower payments, more money in your pocket, and a fresh start with a better mortgage. Call 615-499-5780 or visit loanpronto.com to lock in your new low rate and skip those next 2 payments. Don't let high rates hold you back. Call 615-499-5780 or go to loanpronto.com right now. Equal housing lender, NMLS 1661781, subject to lender approval, NMLS consumeraccess.org.
It is 9:03. Good Friday morning, live from the 104.5 The Zone Studios. I'm Justin Hawkins. The Tennessee Titans home opener versus the LA Rams coming up Sunday with kickoff set for 12 p.m. at Nissan Stadium. Right tackle J.C. Latham told reporters after practice that he would not play against the Rams on Sunday as he deals with the hip injury. Quandre Diggs, Devondre Sweat, and Khalil Mullings also missed practice for a second day in a row. And L'Jarius Sneed, Kevin Winston Jr., and Arden Key were limited once again. Per NFL reporter Aaron Wilson this morning, the Titans are working out former Chargers, Broncos, and Lane College outside linebacker Aaron Farmer today. Farmer last played in 2023 for the Chargers in 8 games and had 3 tackles, was on the Broncos practice squad last season. The Titans are also working out other linebackers as well, Aaron Wilson reports. Tomorrow, number 15 Tennessee Vols take on number 6 Georgia Bulldogs in Knoxville at Neyland Stadium with kickoff set for 2:30 p.m. Central. You can hear Vol Network's coverage starting at 12 p.m. Mike Keith and Ramon Foster on the call right here on 104.5 The Zone. Unranked Vanderbilt travels to Columbia for a 6:45 kickoff to face number 11 ranked South Carolina on SEC Network. For all your foundation repair and waterproofing needs, you got to go to USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Titans and Vols. This is 104.5 The Zone.
Away we go into the 4th and final hour of your Friday, the 20th hour of another jam-packed week on Ramon and Will, fueled by Scooters Coffee, locally owned near you in Rivergate, Smyrna, Brentwood, White House, or Mount Juliet. Amazing people, amazing drinks, amazingly fast. Tate Matthews going to join us here in seconds. Stephen Godfrey coming up in 15 minutes. Ramon, this is a great day for the people to hit the podcast feed.
Yes, it is, man. Get in on that. Y'all got your smartphones or computers at home. Go ahead and do the right thing.
That's right. That is absolutely right. Godfrey on a Friday is the perfect timing to just talk us down a little bit. Maybe talk down just the nervousness for me and, I don't know, maybe the more so excitement for you, but not excitement. He's not going to talk down your excitement. That's incorrect.
No, absolutely not. I feel like Godfrey's on our side with this thing.
Absolutely.
To be honest with you.
I mean, he's the one that left the show a couple weeks ago and said, y'all are beating Georgia.
He did say
right,
that. Yeah, he did. He absolutely said that. So I can't wait to see Godfrey. See if anything's changed in what he's seen the first 2 weeks from both of these schools.
Yep.
Good conversation with him, though. I always look fun because the hour always goes by super fast with Godfrey, too.
That's right.
He's a pro about everything that he does.
Absolutely right. Tate Matthews joins us this morning, as he does every Friday at 9, talking high school football, presented by our friends at Freedom Boat Club. Tate, happy week 4. How are we doing?
Doing great, man. Glad to talk to you all again on Friday morning. It's exciting. The weather's going to be a little bit better than it was last week, a lot better. But Freedom Boat Club, it's a beautiful Friday morning out there today. What a great day to go on the lake. What a great weekend to go on the lake. And that's what they do. They are the best at it. They make boating made simple. They've got 12 top-tier locations across the state, 7 of them right here in the mid-state. You can go out of 2 marinas on Old Hickory, 2 marinas on Percy Priest, 2 on Center Hill, and 1 on Timms Ford. They've got the Tri-Tunes. They've got the runabouts, and they've got the double-decker Tri-Tunes as well, and then also the surf boats. What do? They own the boats. You just go out there and use them. Show up, go out, come back. They'll bill you for the gas. It's a no-brainer. It's a one-time entry fee with monthly dues. They're running specials right now. Again, it's my favorite thing my family's done in the last 3 years. Will, we even got old Double J, the king of the mountain, signed up last month. So
I love it.
Things are rocking and rolling. The Freedom Boat Club.
Fantastic. Tate, week 4 here already, and Station Camp is going to Springfield, a battle of 3-0 teams. Springfield victorious over Portland 27-19 last week, and Station Camp gets a comfortable win at White House. What are you looking for in this matchup?
Yeah, love it. It's going to be a great game. Those guys are pretty close to each other up there, and it's an exciting time over there to be a Bison. They're 3-0 for the first time since 2021. Coach Chris Baines is doing a really good job, and then they're in 5A, right? And then Springfield's kind of been the class of 4A here in the mid-state for several years. They're 3-0 as well. It's homecoming But Station Camp's offense is averaging 38 points per game. Now, the starters have only played in 8 quarters due to running clocks, and then got a quarter and a half in last week before they called it. But they're led by their junior quarterback, Colton Overby. He's a dual threat guy. He's been the leader for the past 2 years, and he really can beat you with both his feet and his arm. He's got 349 passing yards and 4 touchdowns so far, 131 rushing yards and 2 touchdowns. So he's a guy that's been putting up big plays for 2 years for the Bison. The Springfield Yellow Jack defense will have to know where they are, where he is at all time. And then the Bison defense is led by a lot of seniors on all 3 levels. Ryland Keefe, Braden Chastain, and Lucas Heath, to name a few. And Coach Bain's really hoping to get big plays in the special teams. They have all year. They're going to probably need them tonight against Springfield. Lucas Heath has had 2 block punts on the season so far, and Matthew Dickens has already had a punt return for a touchdown. So hopefully they can get some special teams plays to kind of get some momentum going against this Springfield team. You know, I know you do too. Everybody knows the respect that everybody has for what Coach Wilson and the Yellow Jackets do, and they're averaging 26 points per game, and they've kind of got their big 3, kind of like Aikman, Irvin, and Emmett Smith, and Casey Woodson, their quarterback. He had 272 yards and 3 touchdowns last week against Portland. And then Jermaine Cobbins, everybody knows about him. He had 6 receptions and 143 yards and 2 touchdowns of those. But my favorite guy is Jadon Hurst, Ramon. He's the tailback. He's averaging over 100 yards per game, and he wears number 88.
Yeah, he does.
Not hard to find him.
Yeah, he does. Springfield got I think they're in a hotbed right now with some recruitment talent, man. We're going to have to keep our eye on the next couple of years too, Tate.
No doubt.
With that being said, man, you went north of the city. Let's go south of the city, man. Brentwood High against Page this weekend. 2-1 versus 2-0. How you see this one coming down the pipeline?
Well, it's 6A, 5A. Brentwood's 1-2. Page is 2-0. They were supposed to play Hendersonville last Friday night. They waited about as long as anybody I know that didn't get it in. Just couldn't work it out. I know you all probably know the ACT. For those that are wondering why so many didn't play, the ACT was last Saturday as well. So you couldn't wait too late because the kids had to, at least get some sleep before the ACT. But so Page is only 2-0. They didn't get the Hendersonville game in, but these teams haven't played since 2005, and there was a time not too long ago that it would be crazy even pick Page over Brentwood High, much less have them favored. But that's exactly what they are. Man, I don't know that anybody's got as much offensive talent and athletes as Page does in the mid-state, and they've scored 47 points and 44 points against Giles County and Green Hill. They got 2 quarterbacks led by Cameron Cruz, 2 running backs led by Isaac Ote, 3 wide receivers led by Caden Ackerman. The O-line is healthy and ready to go, and then they get their best defensive player back tonight in safety Knight Wilson. They've held him out precautionary the first few weeks, but he's back. That makes a big difference. So, but Brentwood's Brentwood. Their offense kind of started to find their groove last week, and Gavin Strang played his best game as a quarterback of Brentwood so far this year. And then Parker Emerson's their utility guy. They kind of move him around, just try to find ways to get him the ball. And last week he had 4 touchdowns, 3 receptions, and 1 rush. So hard to believe Page is favored, but that's the way it ought to be. And but still, Brentwood is Brentwood.
Tate, CPA is going to play, I think, the Tennessee Titans, maybe the LA Rams in the next couple of weeks. I've never seen a schedule like this in Tennessee high school football. The fact that non-conference, they've got at Oakland, Pearl Cone, Tupelo at a Mississippi they played last week. They're going to get Archbishop Moeller out of Ohio tonight. They still got Baylor next week, who's probably the best team in the state regardless of class. They're going to go to Ravenwood. I mean, D2 AAA is already hard, Tate. They're making it even harder. What do you expect of this matchup tonight?
Yeah, Coach Martin, they said we're going to move you all up to D2 AAA because of the success factor. And he said, okay, well, hold my Dr. Pepper and watch this region schedule. And then after Ravenwood, they've got NBA and Innsworth before fall break.
Crazy.
So, hey, did you all catch any of the Tupelo, Mississippi game last week? Did you get to see them at all?
I saw some highlights on social media.
Yeah,
that was it.
See it.
Man, they're huge. They had about 3 guys that look like you, Ramon.
Yeah, it's a sip.
Yeah, and no doubt about it. But Archbishop's another one. Tupelo is the defending 7A champ out of Mississippi. Archbishop Moeller is what was the runner-up in 7A last year. So a little bit different look than obviously Tupelo, but again, the offensive line is huge. They're led by their quarterback, Matt Ponakowski. I try to say that one fast 3 times. But this is pretty interesting. He's a UK commit. He's the Gatorade Player of the Year in football and baseball.
Ooh.
So guy's a heck of an athlete, and that's in Ohio. He can throw it in, run it. Their offensive line is huge. He extends plays with his feet, and he's really, really smart. So they beat Trinity out of Kentucky, 24-21 last week. Y'all remember them from when they came down and played Innsworth and VA a few years ago. Great program. So it's another really, really tough test. But the Lions, they're not hurting for talent as well. Not a whole lot of offensive highlights in the one half that they played against Tupelo last week, except Tupelo came up and was running press coverage on Owen Cabell. And, I don't know that I've ever seen that, and Owen made him pay for it. Jack Van Orman hit him for a 78-yard touchdown, and not only did Owen beat him, he ran away from him. So, and I believe that kid was committed to Ole Miss, I believe, maybe Mississippi State. So, anyways, they've got some firepower. The CPA offensive line starting to come into form, and you always got Rawls Patterson back there. So it'll be another fun game. If you're going, side note, they're kicking off at 6 like they did last week. They're kicking off at 6, so give Archbishop Moeller a little bit more time to get home. But it ought to be another great game. Hey, a little trivia for you, boys.
Okay.
Do you know who went to Archbishop Moeller?
Oh, I know it rang a bell, but I'm not. I don't know off the top of my head.
I'm not sure.
Ken Griffey Jr.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's right. That's right. Yeah, I know that's a powerhouse
Barry
program.
Larkin as well.
Wow.
See?
All right, there you go.
That's actually pretty
The kind of
cool
nuggets
right
you
there.
get from Tate Matthews. Fridays here at 9 a.m. Tate, enjoy the night of football. Great to talk to you as always. Go Vols as always, and we'll do it again next week.
Absolutely. You going up?
I'll be there, brother. I'll be there.
Love it. Love it.
I know
stuff.
you will be.
I got no choice now. Mike Keefe will have me arrested if I don't.
Thank you, Tate. Appreciate you.
If you got time, come tailgate. I'm sure you got things to do before the game. But safe travels, boys. See
Same
next
to you.
week.
Thank you, Tate. Appreciate you. Tate Matthews with us here this morning talking high school football. Stephen Godfrey joins us in studio next.
It's Ramon Foster for Hiller Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electrical, man. Nobody wants to deal with a plumbing, HVAC, or an electrical emergency. Most of the time, you don't know what it will cost or if it'll get fixed correctly or if somebody's trying to sell you something you don't need. When you call Hiller, the experts are going to solve your problems quickly, and the price you told is the price that you'll actually pay. There are no hidden fees or surprises when you get your bill. Hiller's been in business for over 35 years and are family owned and operated. The techs are very professional, experienced, and trustworthy, and all background checked and drug screened too. When they're on their way, you'll receive a photo of the tech and a link to track them in real time. So it's no more wasting time waiting around for somebody to show up to your house. And their motto has always been, happy you'll be or the service is free. To learn more about Hiller or to book with them, simply visit happyhiller.com.
Friday morning at Mona and Will, fueled by Scooter's Coffee. And we mentioned in hour 3 that, sometimes when Ron Slay's in the show, you can just skip the cup of coffee and just listen to him talk about whatever he wants to talk about. Same can be said for our guest that's in studio with us now. Yes, Stephen Godfrey joining us. Ready to talk some college football this morning. We are going to end with Tennessee, Georgia.
Yeah.
So we're gonna do everything else.
Yes.
Love it.
In the college football weekend. College Football Inquirer, a must listen if you are a college football fan, with Andy Staples, friend of the show, Ross Dellinger, and of course Stephen Godfrey. What's up? How we doing?
How we doing? We ready?
We are ready.
I feel like, what's it been, 2 weeks? I have not been here.
It was before week 1.
I've not been here since we had the college tackle football started playing. So are we over our Aguilar related?
I think we're over that
anxiety.
concern.
We good? We good?
Yes, absolutely.
Good from what I see. Like, yeah,
It looks like what the hyper offense is supposed to look
All right,
like.
next segment. I'm sorry, I let off with it. All right, you're good. Here's the deal. I've been darting around Nashville this morning. I've been listening to y'all, and I'm like, we got a little therapy coming. Okay. All right.
Perfect.
Actually, I'm kind of ready to give a rah-rah speech. I'm not lying.
Are you?
I'm ready.
See, you were believing in Tennessee before it was
Somebody
cool.
clip it, right? Do we clip it when I was on here last time?
You did, yeah. Justin did clip it.
I don't have yours on right now, but I'm just saying, if it happens on Monday,
Yes.
I want, that can be my intro, okay, from here on out. If it doesn't happen, this is not for professional use.
Break the hard drives. Yeah.
Well,
Godfrey just hits the table, goes,
Weatherman's only right about 30% of the time, so.
I love it. Who's the next head coach of Florida going to be?
Oh, wow. See? Okay. This is the spice that I expect when you talk about your own team. I don't even know if I can wait till the next segment. Y'all got this energy for Florida, but then you don't have it about yourselves.
Ramon's got it. That's probably directed at me.
Here's what's going to happen. That's a wounded animal staff. They did this last year. They're going to scare somebody. They're going to beat somebody they shouldn't. I'm not saying it's this weekend, but somebody with a better coaching staff, because we can now kind of say this definitively, right? I like South Florida. I like Alex Golish. He is on the hot board at several places. I've been told several he ain't gonna be there long, right? I don't know if they're gonna win the American just based on how that roster shakes out. I don't know if they can hold up. Tulane kind of still feels like the insider, so they may not get that playoff shine. But he's on the hot board for those Power 2 jobs for sure. However, that was a Florida loss, right? That was. Love in the world. I grew up on G5 football. I love all that stuff, FCS. That was a Florida loss more than a South Florida win. So now we can say it, right? After 4 years of evaluation, that this man cannot oversee consistency because it was never something fatal. It was sloppiness. It was communication, decision-making, guys not looking in line, all the whole laundry list. Yes, clock management.
Simple stuff.
And if you go back, one of the justifications for hiring him, and I thought he was a great hire at the time,
I did too,
was how even and professionalized he had that Louisiana program, ULL. So it's done. The referendum is done. They'll move on, unless they catch absolute fire and go through the SEC. I'm not saying you're not out anymore, right? We know this. Even Northern Illinois was about this time last year with Notre Dame. Notre Dame goes to national championship game. So just to be clear, we're not actually tapping the epitaph into the stone, but we're doing some light scripting. Okay. Sure. The next head coach at Florida, they will probably go with someone with a significant amount of hardcore SEC experience. Napier had that, obviously, coming off of the Saban tree, but I think they'll want to stay inside. I think that's the trend now. I don't have an number one name right now. Would they get in the John Summerall sweepstakes? Absolutely. Could Auburn screw around and win 8 games this year and keep Gomer? Absolutely.
Keep Gomer.
Because John Summerall is, I've said this before, the most Auburn. You couldn't make a more Auburn head coach in a lab.
And Kentucky fans feel
genetic
like
engineering
there,
could not produce a more Auburn Pat Dye 2.0 dude than John Summerall.
He's in the Tulane family then at the moment.
By the way, easy layup. Did you saw that Northwestern thing? That was like 2 weeks ago. Though. Easy layup. John Summerall knows what he's doing. So, Florida will definitely get in on him. But history says we really, really kind of have to define ourselves with an offensive identity at Florida, almost more so than any program that I mean, it's really, Spurrier kind of drilled that into the ethos, right?
Sure.
So the one that I would keep an eye on is Eli Drinkwitz.
Yep.
For sure.
That's exactly what we said.
Can you be quiet?
Absolutely.
Or, sorry, can you be under the radar and be an SEC head coach? I think that's the one guy who somehow as overexposed as the SEC is.
Yeah.
Eli Drinkwitz in Missouri, go look it up. Vols fans may know this a little bit better because you're coming out of the old SEC East together and you've played more times. But I'm telling you, in the traditional West, those Alabamas, that culture, I don't really pay attention to Missouri, and they're just consistent. And he's raised the floor on roster talent. He's done all the little things we talked about in the Pinkel era, the Odomer, and all those guys. Like, hey, win your battles in St. Louis, go out, be effective, have a discernible offensive identity. He's done all that.
Is it done for Napier in Florida too?
I think it's playoff or bust.
Yeah. That's it.
It starts tomorrow night in Baton Rouge.
Hey,
best of luck.
You got Miami. You got Knowles. You got all your in-state in conference rivals. There's too many referendums left, I think, for this Florida team unless they finish with a near clean sheet.
Yeah.
You could lose to one of them, but with that schedule coming up, I just don't see how they write it.
You know who's similar to me? And the same, I felt like hype coming into it, quarterbacks, everything match. Shane Beamer, South Carolina. They got Vandy. How do you view this?
I love Vandy. I like it. Let's go.
Don't clip that.
You
one.
like?
No, I've said this on the show because this makes me more believable when I get on the Vols. I live very close to Vandy without doxing myself. If they were 10-2 every year, that'd make my life a lot easier, right?
Yeah.
Vandy, go to the playoff, anchor down, baby. I take my kids to that gold day where we get the autographs. Go for it. I think Clark's great. The last time I was on here, I think I was yelling at Vandy to better support
You
Clark.
did ask
right?
that for the value of your home and zip code.
Exactly.
Is what you was
They've got
asking for.
all about real estate. Yes. No, I like them this weekend.
They may be the tougher team in that game. What a concept.
Guys. Like, it hasn't been the greatest data set the last two games because I think VTech is very much in a process of falling apart down to the studs. And we talk off field some other time because there's actually ball to discuss. But South Carolina's a better team. Obviously, we got a little bit of comparative analysis because they both played Tech. I hate gritty. I hate hard nosed. I hate all that pablum that we do in sports writing. Yeah. I've never seen. And then let me throw this back to y'all in the Nashville. Maybe somebody can call in and disagree with me. If they win this game in South Carolina, to me, we've established a between the two seasons, a more consistent and more, above board Vanderbilt than even in the Franklin run. If they win this game on the road in South Carolina against a team that, like, South Carolina got overused in the offseason as the fun last team in the bracket, right?
Oh, did.
And they still have, and here's my thing, they're about the same thing as last year, which means I think they're going to be on that Mendoza line. Right. I don't think they make it. I actually had A&M in and them out. So if Vanderbilt wins this game, this is the best Vanderbilt run I think I've ever seen.
I would wholeheartedly agree because, not taking anything away from James Franklin, but he did benefit from a down Tennessee, Florida, and Georgia all at the same time.
Every program he beats that's a legacy. Right. You can even go even further. It was a jacked up Arkansas. It was a bad Ole Miss team with Houston. Like every single one of those helmets
100%.
they beat. Wow. And I don't know, James might be still listening. Who knows? You never know with him.
You never
He's
know.
got some other things to
Who's
do.
his agent again? Yeah, he's always listening.
No, but I mean, honestly.
How you doing, brother?
And right now, the SEC, like, those teams are all outstanding.
Yes.
Cole Kublik said something on Josh Pate's show last night I think is so real about Vandy, too. There's about 5 plays a game that are just bleep it plays for Diego Pavia. Yeah. Do those plays go in your favor or against you? And, I mean, that kind of is it for Vandy right now. But that offensive line, we talked about it all offseason. It was criminally underrated, some of the additions they made up front to protect that guy for 12 games and not get the best of Diego for 6 games.
And the reason...
So far, so good.
And now I'm going to damn with faint praise a little, but that's also the reason why I think they are good. And we're still talking about Vanderbilt by Vanderbilt standards, meaning like this is not a playoff team. This is not a 10-win team because they have to be so physical with him that I just think it's September 12th. Like we're going to get some wear on those tires.
Exactly.
But look, good for you focusing on the O-line. Hey, by the way, shout out to Clark. You brought in Jerry Kill. And you let Jerry Kill be Jerry Kill. It's a very specific sort of human being amongst, in the coaching rumor world. Like he's an acquired taste, but he's effective at what he does. Clark ceded a lot of control here and became a better manager and a better CEO for it. And there's a lot of words I can't use on the radio that in a positive way when I'm watching that run game, when I'm watching what they do the first 3 yards, that's not dude, that ain't old Vanderbilt.
No, it's different.
Right.
It's more like old Georgia Tech under Paul Johnson, it feels to me.
And by the way, new Georgia Tech, too.
They're beating Clemson.
Well, so that the S&P Plus for my buddy Bill Connolly is 28-28 right now in that game.
Whew.
Every simulation here has 28-28.
Talk about programs and the competitive toughness that they have. And again, it's cliche, but like sometimes it does apply.
Yeah.
I don't know who Clemson is.
Yeah.
I know exactly who Georgia Tech is.
It would be like if you had the most refined weaponry in the world and that was the best offenses in college football and Georgia Tech's like, no, I'm going to put a nail through a board and beat you with it.
Yep.
And I've never seen a more O-line coached, O-line like mentality at every position. Watch their downfield blocking from their receivers.
He loves Haynes King so much, too.
Oh, dude, he is an O-lineman.
I told somebody I would buy a throwback Georgia Tech jersey just to have his name on it.
Let's go. 91 national championship.
Listen to me. Put Haynes King. I wanted him at UT. I say, go steal him. I don't care.
Yeah.
Go get him. But the way, to your point, the way they play and block and that style of offense, you got to have you got to have 11 right-minded people to handle that.
Yes, sir.
Colorado showed that. And I don't know if there's 11 right-minded people on any college defense to handle that.
Well, and think about, too, if they pull week one is week one. I have to say this 1,000 times over when I do media. The improvement from week 1 to week 2 is astronomical because they are still kids and we don't have preseason games. Nice. Take those turnovers out of that Georgia Tech Colorado game. They win by 21 plus. It's fine. They are fine. No, the physicality is fantastic. And that is Brent Key. It was what was so glaring and missing when Collins took over. The reason why it was so glaring was they were coming off of Paul Johnson. They are going to give teams problems on their schedule like Clemson, like Georgia again. Old-fashioned hate is in the Falcon Stadium this year is going to be with the way that ended last year. Y'all, I'm telling you, that's like circle it game.
It is.
Sure.
It's going to be fun.
You can't tell somebody in our chat that. Boy.
That could be we've got a couple mouthy Georgia fans that just pop up. Mouthy Georgia fans, what a
cousins?
Yeah.
I got some kin in the chat. Ain't none of them got degrees from there. Hey, ain't none of y'all got degrees. Show it to me. Put it in the chat.
Like
Take a picture of it. You ain't got a degree. When'd you finish at Georgia State, brother? You went to LaGrange, son.
Just like me.
Ain't no chance.
Godfrey, the Alabama stuff is so interesting because it's funny, the kind of team that'll go get pantsed by Florida State will also then flex against ULM and say, see, we can do it. We can lock in for a week and we can, there's not much that moves you from ULM. No. There's not much that's going to move you from Wisconsin. I'd love to, if we had more time, to get into the psyche of why Wisconsin football has been so disappointing under Luke Fickell.
They hired the wrong OC. I can do it in 5 seconds.
Oh, there you go. Perfect. All right, anyway.
Phil Longo's the new head coach at Sam Houston.
Yep. Ran
one of the more tempo-heavy, light in the rear end spreads that you've seen.
Not in the Big Ten.
Absolutely straight. Look, I don't have anything against Phil, but I've just been perplexed by he came from North Carolina and kind of doomed Mac a little bit.
Right.
And then I know the backstory on this and some of it's privilege, but the bottom line was Luke, he made a higher antithetical to his philosophy. And you got to realize, y'all remember how good those Cincinnati teams were.
Yeah.
Yes.
Going back to physicality, going back
team playoffs.
Going back to it. Hey, 3-year development program for a guy like Sauce Gardner. Or thinking about everything you got out of Desmond Ridder at quarterback, right? Like, and then to
Falcons legend.
Dude, when he did that DoorDash commercial, I don't want to. Okay, anyway. All right.
Let it go. It's Friday.
I'm here for James Pierce Entertainment.
That's right. That's right.
I'm also, is there a cheat code to activate him or how does that work? Do I need to hit
fair about that one too?
Is my James Pierce is currently, do I need to hit restart? Do I need to unplug him and re-plug him in?
Probably have his girlfriend in town.
Unplug the cars and the extra stuff is what you need to unplug.
I'm worried we're going to be a little too Atlanta for James Pierce in the long run. Anyway.
Ding, 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 ding.
What the hell were we talking about?
Alabama.
Beautiful thing about this game is sample sets are so few and far between. Right now on the radio, where's the truth? Is it ULM or is it Florida State? It's Florida State.
Yeah, it is.
It's Florida State.
It is.
Okay, there's not a single matchup. God bless Bryant Vincent, the job he's doing in Fun Row. I'll be there for Christmas. Ain't nobody, come on, y'all. Those games shouldn't even be played. All right? And I know there's a lot of anxiety right now, and so everybody, look, you're running the score up on ULM because you're worried about the people in the skyboxes.
Yeah, approving a point.
Exactly.
Ridiculous. Wisconsin.
There was a report that boosters with names on, with their faces on the facility were
Yeah.
Circling
Well,
around.
yeah, they're gonna. Oh,
You know what
look.
didn't satisfy him.
All right. How much time we got?
In this segment, 1 minute.
Okay,
You
here we
gonna
go.
say, you gonna say for the next
No,
one?
I'm gonna
Yes,
build
yeah,
y'all.
yeah,
I'm gonna
yeah.
get y'all there. You ready? Because we're gonna have to go to church for this. Because I'm just tired of this anxiety.
Okay.
I'm sick of it. You apparently more positive. I don't listen to every segment.
Yeah,
than he
I'm
is.
way more
But
positive.
he feels really good about
I
this.
feel really
All right,
good about this.
Here's the deal. I'm so tired of hearing it feels like 98. Okay, but here's the deal.
I don't say that, by the way.
There's a whole generation of human being that does not understand dysfunctional Alabama. But if you're a little long in the tooth, got a little gray in the hair, and you're a Vol fan, you remember how fast those people will eat their own. Mm-hmm. Okay? Y'all have suffered this for the last 2 decades,
yes,
right?
Rick.
Look at what Auburn
Yes.
did. Those are the same people. They just wear different colors.
There is no way Kalen DeBoer can get out of this alive unless he just barfs up 2 national championships. And is that going to happen? Okay? So keeping this from a Vol mindset, y'all got to stop manufacturing these problems. Look around. You got the most Georgia-ass human being. You couldn't have made a more Georgia quarterback. And I'm not saying that to be nice. I'm saying that because they looked out at the entire quarterback market and stuck with the guy that Notre Dame ate up. All right? Alabama, don't interrupt your opponent when they're making a mistake. And the entire program right now, they were slow on NIL. You think about the problems that they've had. I am legitimately shocked by some of the offensive miscues against Florida State because they got Grubb in. I kind of thought they would look better. But let's all be Vols for a second, okay? What is wrong with life right now? You're joking before we go on the air. Hey, New Mexico's going to come out tonight in the best looking uniforms in college football. Look it up. No, I'm serious. Look at those uniforms.
They're really
are
good.
amazing. They went with
Go
turquoise.
Lobos.
It's beautiful. All right? What's Nico making per completion right now?
I'd probably go about 15,000 per.
And I am never pocket watching another human being. Get your bag, because guess what? 12-year All-Pro NFL wasn't going to happen, all right?
Right.
So he got paid. Great for him.
Awesome.
Y'all didn't really suffer for it. You weren't going to be national title contenders this year anyway.
They're better for it.
Okay. So
Alabama.
Alabama was at 21 right now at Wisconsin. It's in Tuscaloosa, right? Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. They're going to clunk their way to 17, 18-point deficit, 18-point margin. That's going to be fine. In fact, the better thing for Tennessee is this, is they go and they do a ULM on them. I do think Wisconsin, they're going back towards more of a big-bodied run game. I don't know.
Quarterback change.
Yeah. I like the new offensive staff they brought in. I like better, the Grimes and all that. Like, it does fit better.
Sure.
So they'll try and reduce possessions. I don't think it'll be like last year to this game. But just let them continue. The best thing for Tennessee, for Alabama right now, is that they do think, you know what? It was week 1. That's the kind of complacency. That's the stuff that Saban could root out psychologically. Yeah. But we can't do that anymore, right? Because we don't have Saban.
Fair.
Right.
Everything's good in Knoxville, baby.
Well, let's talk about the game in Knoxville. Stephen Godfrey in studio talking Tennessee, Georgia.
Let's go.
Friday morning, wrapping up the show on Ramon and Will. We are fueled by Scooters Coffee, locally owned, Rivergate, Smyrna, Brentwood, White House, or Mount Juliet. It's amazing people, amazing drinks, amazingly fast. Stephen Godfrey in studio. Subscribe to the College Football Inquirer, Yahoo Sports. Great stuff talking college football and like all the other 17 podcasts that Godfrey does as well. Sleep comes in abundance this time of year.
No, I don't sleep when I'm dead.
But do you know you're sleeping? Oh,
Well, no, we could really change this last segment.
no, we will not.
Man, I was listening to Nashville Sports Radio. Got really existential.
Vols, Georgia.
Tennessee's going to play Georgia tomorrow. What do you think?
All right. Right now. Just get it out in like 20 seconds.
Josh Heupel has struggled against Kirby Smart defenses.
Okay.
The two backup corners against Zachariah Branch and Noah Thomas are problems that have to be solved.
All right.
I think Tennessee has the quarterback I trust more in this game.
Yes.
Which I would not have said 2 weeks ago. And I think Tennessee is more physical at the point of attack to get a yard when they need a yard, more so than they ever have been against Georgia under Josh Heupel.
Okay.
Those are the goods and the bads.
I don't know how many seconds that was, but you were more positive than you were negative. Do you realize that?
Yeah. No, I feel solid. I feel better than I thought I would 2 weeks ago going into this game for sure.
What's wrong with just being excited? I feel like, and I'm just going to pick on you, Mr. Bowling, for a second.
That's fine.
You are emblematic of the Vol fan that I live and work around.
Very much so.
Been in this state for almost 20 years. Why don't y'all ever drop the hammer on excitement of fandom? Why? What has he not done yet? Right? The Lord or the Dark Lord sent you Danny White, all right? One or the other. All right? You got old Bobby Hill looking Josh Heupel who has brought you back to relevance, all right? No, I'm serious.
Thank you, Dark Lord.
I'm serious.
Sure.
You don't have any of the problems anymore. You got champagne problems for the most part, right?
Mm-hmm. True.
Y'all don't have infighting, weird redneck arguing with each other. What's that restaurant? What's the barbecue restaurant y'all have?
Calhoun's?
Yeah, there ain't no fist fights in the Calhoun's parking lot between boosters and all kinds of nonsense going on. Y'all
John Gruden has not been spotted there.
No, nobody's trying to kill Butch Jones in the middle of the night. What's the deal? Why don't y'all ever just get God, man, I don't have enough radio words this morning. Why don't y'all ever just get to 11? I'm asking. So here's okay. LSU, I know that fan base really well. Systemic problems. But Thursday, Friday, going into a massive game against a rival. But that's not only that, they're unhinged. It's the bayou from hell, right? And they know they're going in there like kamikaze pilots straight into the airship. Straight into an aircraft carrier. Y'all don't do this, and I don't understand it. I thought it was all like hilljack, redneck from hell, all this kind of stuff. Man, don't come up in that holler or you'll disappear. Like, where is that energy from this fan base?
Come on, Godfrey.
I'm serious.
Very fair.
It should be an episode of Justified. You bunch of crazy rednecks. Go up there and just disappear.
All great questions.
I'm trying not to swear. Get the delay ready. I don't understand. I listened to most of the show today as I've been moving around, and everybody's puckered. You don't even have to win all your games anymore, y'all. Look, let me say this. I don't know in our lifetimes if Tennessee's going to go undefeated and walk into an SEC championship again. So don't worry about 98 anymore. Y'all went to the playoff last year, and you lost to the national champion. You sent a bunch of people to the NFL. Why don't y'all ever act like it? Georgia comes in with more entitlement into this game as a fan base. And I don't want to hear about streaks. Streaks break.
Right.
You're watching the most efficient, most ruthless, most definitive program in college football history fall apart in progress right now. We just talked about it in the last segment. Eventually, y'all have to buy in. Why don't y'all do this? What are you afraid of? I think y'all are afraid of.
That's a good question.
You won a national title. Y'all sound like the other half fans. You sound like Ole Miss.
Preach.
You sound like Arkansas. You do. I've lived here 20 years and y'all sound like that.
Yeah, that's fair.
Stop.
I think a lot of that can change tomorrow because this does feel like the boogeyman that Josh Heupel has not beaten.
Okay. But even if you lose this game, I know everybody's going to just be dragging.
Because there's still a pathway to the playoff with this schedule.
Yes.
I mean, we have upgraded at quarterback from...
You're going to make the most South Georgia human being ever throw the ball deep. And if he beats you that way, okay, we can come in here and talk about that on Monday. But come on, y'all.
Come on, Godfrey.
The athleticism is there. The NFL talent is literally there.
The floor has been raised on the recruit. Like, going back to 22, that was my thing.
Yes, start acting like that.
There was a bigger gap.
Yes.
Like, that gap has shrunk. Georgia's got just as many issues. You said you were listening early. Georgia's got just as many issues.
Yes.
They got a quarterback that they like, don't love.
They got questions that got to be answered.
They got an offensive line that hadn't been in this environment. Last time it was played in Athens. You got young guys starting on this team, too. You got a running back that hadn't dealt with this also, although he started last year. You got guys who are out of conference that got to come play in this environment, too. And that's the biggest thing that you're saying, too. Why aren't y'all, meaning not the players, why aren't y'all, the fans, excited about this? Because I said this when Ron was on the show with us. The same way you talk about what Death Valley is, right? The same way that we speak about how toxic Alabama can be, how Georgia, the swamp.
Yeah.
I almost
It's
said
not
a
there.
word. I almost said a word, too, but the same crap is in Knoxville, too. That you got to utilize that.
It can be. Yes, you go up, there's 110,000 people in Orange ready to drag you to hell or up them hills or whatever, however y'all want to do it. You hear Rocky Top for the 70th time, and it sounds like a funeral dirge because they're just absolutely going to. It's really hard not to swear talking about this.
It is, man. You're me right now.
Do that?
I like it.
Act that way. Everybody listen to me right now. Don't go, lose by 7 or lose by 10.
Georgia fans
right.
bark at you, bark back at them.
I don't get this fan base.
Fair.
Be what you told me you used to be. All of the pathways are cleared.
I wish I had something to pop a bottle with me right now.
Well, the show's over, so we can now. It's our weekend.
Be what you all used to be. When you got there, y'all had that.
It wasn't a matter of it. It's just go play ball.
I like it.
It was that.
But there was absolutely never a thought of we are lesser than the program coming to town.
That's why I'm as cocky as I am
Stephen
about
Godfrey
this,
in
Godfrey.
studio as we wrap up the show and wrap up the week.
Let's go right
Noon
now.
when Vol
God
Network
dang
coverage
it.
starts. You'll hear Ramon Foster on the call.
You're going to win by
for Tennessee
7-10.
and Georgia. Godfrey, thank you. Good to see you.
God, I hope y'all win now.
Hey, here we go, man.
us
Y'all
hope.
know how it is, man. On Fridays, call somebody you ain't talked to in a while, man. Buy somebody a random drink. Have a random conversation. Hug your people. Call your people. But at the end of the day, man, ELE, everybody love everybody. We're more alike than they make us different. I promise you that. Peace.